Unraveling these mysteries. Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat. We guarantee you're in wonderful company. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Mrs. E. Mrs. E.
All right. Well, welcome into the Mr. E Crimecast, everyone. I am Mr. E. I'm joined tonight by Mrs. E and, of course, Auntie. Is there something wrong, Mrs. E?
You're extremely loud in my headphones.
Am I way too loud?
Ask everybody in chat. See
am
if
I
they
like
think you're crazy loud because you're really loud in my headphones.
Yes. If you would let me know, am I crazy loud right now? If I am, we can adjust that. If it sounds normal, just let us know that too. That'd be great. Yeah, I don't want to blow out anybody's eardrums.
Yeah, everybody's saying it's loud, so
okay.
I'm turning it down.
Okay, great.
That's crazy.
It felt too loud on my end.
Yeah. Auntie was having trouble saying.
The real me said no.
Okay. Crystal says I came in like a wrecking ball.
That's
so
funny.
Yeah, not my intent. So I apologize for that. I'm sure that was terrifying.
I didn't care.
Is it a little better? Okay, Ash Cash says it's a lot better now. So if we if it's really off, let us know. We'll adjust that. But it feels so nicey. Marie says I can handle it, but sounds like his cold is getting worse. Be praying for him. This is just hanging around. This has been like 2 weeks. I just cannot quite get past this. But we'll.
It's been 5 days.
No, I've had this.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this for a while.
I disagree.
Okay.
Auntie disagrees too because you are bad at timelining.
It's been like a month.
It started
4 years.
It's been a month if it's been a day.
He didn't have it last Sunday when we were on.
No, we were on Monday, weren't we?
It just seems like I've had it forever. Maybe that's it. Okay, yeah, everybody's saying that the sound is looking pretty good. So thank you so much to everybody for being here tonight. We've got tons of our mods in, so that's great. We appreciate your support. We've got the best mods around.
We've got some of the best friends around too. Hi, Bullhorn Betty, welcome in.
Yes, welcome in, Bullhorn Betty. Glad to have you here, and you can handle it. All right, good deal. Good to see.
Busby's here, and I saw Lolly around here somewhere. And K-Mac and all of our wonderful mods.
Oh, yeah, I think they're all here. It looks like Graham, Lady Tit for Tat, K-Mac, Dreaming of Blue Skies, Keep Up the Chatter, Jenny Machete. If I missed anybody, I apologize, but we do appreciate it. Lana, I think I saw in earlier somewhere. Real Me Too. Y'all are the best. So we appreciate the help for sure. So we've got a kind of a lot of things we want to go into tonight. Of course, we haven't been back since before Seth did his YouTube video. And of course, there's been tons of news that's broken since, all kinds of videos and pictures leaking. There was the news with Seth on Saturday night, the birthday and everything. So just a ton to get to.
Nobody who is somebody. No, you are not blocked. We can see you. And hello, welcome in. And did we say hello to Lady Tit for Tat and Crystal and Lisa B. Always? Mally Cat.
HM Hands.
And Keep Up the Chatter renewed their membership. Thank you. Keep Up the Chatter. Also a mod as well. Victoria Burgess, the Hen House. I like the Hen House. That's a great name.
Yeah. we appreciate all the support and all y'all checking us out tonight and coming with us. And we do have a lot that we want to kind of talk about.
Our son's in a really good mood tonight, so you're probably going to hear him. He's excited about being on the nice list. So you want to tell him what we're doing every day?
So every day, our son with autism, he gets done with school and he's like, I'm on the nice list, And so we get home and he's got this sheet of paper. December 1st, nice, check. December 2nd, nice, check. Every single day is what he'll do all the way up until we've kind of continually got these countdowns and lists always on with paper around the house like that. But that's one of my favorite ones. So he's in it, and he does behave pretty well in December. I actually think because of the whole Santa deal.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I think it makes a difference for him actually. So he is very well aware of what it means to be nice and not. So he does his best during this time of year. So is there anything else you want to do?
I was just seeing more of our friends coming in. And so
Sure.
Car Guy and HM Hands and Lori Wind, Opal Sisk, Aries, let's see, Ash Cash, we already said hello to. SS Butterfly. Graham's here to help us. Thank you. Amber Martin Little M.
Graham says, do you guys ever write in like on the nice list? No, we certainly do not.
And honestly, if he were naughty, we would still have to check nice because it would be
devastating.
It would be a devastating
That kind of
major meltdown.
It would be a bad day.
We'd pay the penalty for that if we made that move.
Yes. Oh, Sharon Marlowe gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Sharon. That's
Thank
so
you,
sweet.
Sharon. Very nice of you. We appreciate that.
If you got a gifted membership from Sharon Marlowe, please tell her thank you and give her a virtual hug. That's so nice.
So this month we'll be doing a Christmas themed, I think, or holiday themed trivia this month. That'll be the plan for all of our members. Kind of a place for us to kind of hang out and do that. Tish Hunter is a local. I don't remember seeing Tish in here before, but welcome in, Tish, in the Gallatin area. So that is in Sumner County. So I'm sure you have been following this case from the very beginning as we have.
Your buddy TN Nurse is in here, and it
Good
was
to
funny.
see you, TN Nurse.
I thought of her today. We did a little Christmas shopping, and Sam's actually has a bunch of Tennessee shirts on sale.
Ooh, speaking of Sam's, we'll have to do our video.
Oh, I know. I have it. I did it. I got it.
Okay, yeah. I forgot to put. We make a little outline of what we're planning on doing. I forgot that.
New Orleans Pothole, which is Rock and Rhonda, I believe, is here as well. I got time today. Peggy Koch, all the friends.
And some of you change your names all the time. It's hard to keep up with who's changed to what.
Yes, that's true. Well, we appreciate all of our members and subscribers and all of our friends here in chat and everybody watching. We just appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, how sweet is this? Sarah says, my 9-year-old says the only thing he wants for Christmas is for Sebastian to be found. Every day when he comes home from school and asks if he's been found. Not yet, buddy. Oh, that is awful. I mean, it's incredibly sweet, but that is so sad too. Well, I'll tell you, we're going to get to it in a little bit, but Seth certainly sounds as optimistic as I have heard him since this whole thing started.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't see that news segment, we will be getting into that in a bit. Can we do the Twitter post first?
Sure. You
I emailed it.
I know you did. Go ahead and talk to people while I do that because I wasn't prepared.
Sure.
Shocker.
Joan asked a question. Someone said today that Nick is doing a live tonight. Heard anything about that?
I did not know that.
I can probably.
Unless he's got a notification on his YouTube. I didn't catch
I was gonna
that.
check. Yeah.
I hadn't seen anything. I hadn't seen anything come up about it yet.
That's possible.
He did post a video. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, a couple recently. So yeah, and we're going to get into all those too, because we've got all this new video and pictures and everything to kind of break down. Oh well, I wanted to just show Dog's post.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the video.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to do his actual post.
You mean this one? This is what I was sent.
Yeah. I just wanted to show the post because of the views. So if Yeah, let me pull it up myself so I can read it. So of course, we keep seeing all the criticism of Dog the Bounty Hunter, right? People that just he gets these kind of ridiculous attacks, like pretty much anybody that gets involved in this case gets. No one can volunteer, no charity can get involved, no searcher can get involved, or they just they get attacked by the mob. And of course, before he had joined on, we heard it over and over how much people wanted Dog to get involved. Oh yeah, we need to get Dog on the case. And then when he initially came in that first day, it was 100% approval, thrilled, glad he was there. And then you kind of had the peanut gallery come in, start kind of undermining and taking shots at him. He's too old, all these things and whatnot. But this is why you want Dog involved in this case. If you don't follow him on X, yesterday he posted this, the $225,155 reward, hashtag Sebastian Rogers. And then he just below that, he has the video of Texas Roadhouse. It's a very simple post. It has gone viral. It's at 6.1 million views as of 24 hours. He's got, almost 1,000 retweets, 5,000 some odd likes, all these comments. And that's the kind of reach that flyers don't have, that we don't have, that us on our Facebook group. I mean, this is reaching thousands and millions of people actually that knew nothing at all about Sebastian Rogers. And so it was interesting. I'm one of those people always look in the comment sections, and you go through here and you see people writing, what's the context of this? Reward for what? Put the info out there. No idea what this is. Then another, she looks upset with him. Is that his mother? And then somebody's $225,000 for the missing teen. He's going to be found. $10,000 for the New York shooter taking out a CEO in broad daylight. Hell nah, several people made comments about what they're offering a $225,000 reward for skipping out on dinner, and so there's all kinds of people that are confused about what's going on. But they they dangled just enough to pique people's interest. And then people, of course, watched the video, and then people started researching the story. So all throughout his replies, he's got people posting articles, these millions of people that knew nothing about Sebastian Rogers today know about him just because of one tweet by Dog the Bounty Hunter. That's the kind of, there's nothing any of us can do that can match what Dog just did. This is tremendous reach, so now you're going to have more and more people start researching the story on their own. They're going to start finding old articles in their own Facebook groups and all these things. And that's what you want. You want that kind of momentum. Maybe other celebrities will notice what Dog's done. They'll become interested. They'll pass it along. They retweet it to their followers. And, that's how you do this kind of stuff. So even just besides the whole investigative aspect, the knowledge he has, the ability to get people to talk that aren't normally going to talk to other unknown people, this kind of reach is incredible. So we are thankful to him for doing that, and now it's just spread the story, and it'll have a great impact. In a couple of days, who knows how many? It might be at 10, 20 million here by the end of the week. That's just in the first 24 hours. So anyway, there's tremendous value to that. And I know I've also heard other things from other sources that Dog has had a lot of impact on the case just as it is already, even behind the scenes and in different ways that we can't, that we've just heard from other sources. So it is definitely a net positive to have Dog involved. And do you have any thoughts on that before we kind of go on?
No, I agree with you. I was actually looking to see if Nick was scheduled for a live. I can't see anything. So I'm guessing no, unless, I'd just keep an eye on his Twitter. He would probably put it there, or X, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's definitely that seems to be the first place he posts just about anything.
Aw. Hi, Jules. Thank you.
Thank you, Jules.
Thank you for the $2. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
That's so sweet. Hope you're having a good evening. And Jacob's crew, what are you doing? Jacob's Crew is such a great supporter. Thank you so much, Jacob's Crew. If you
Wow, thank you.
received one of the memberships that Jacob's Crew gifted, please tell Jacob's Crew thank you. And we appreciate you. That's so kind. Oh, and there's another one. Jules. She's so sweet. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. If you received a membership from Jules, please tell her thank you as well. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Very generous of you all. We do appreciate that so much. Yeah, I think the next thing I kind of wanted to get into was just kind of the birthday weekend for Sebastian. You know, so we kind of started that really on the birthday eve on the 6th. That's when Seth. Man, if you didn't watch that YouTube,
Wow. Yeah.
with Seth, it was. I mean, he laid it all out there. You know, as a dad, I felt everything he was saying. I think the most powerful moments for me were when he started talking about, you know, the way he wanted us all to celebrate was just to kind of enjoy the small things with your kids, you know, just play a board game, go for a walk, that kind of thing. I know he's feeling that. That's where I was feeling the most empathetic with him, I think, and kind of feeling, I get it. I understand exactly what he was saying there. And I bet there were tears all over the place. It was incredibly powerful. It was a great tribute of just the outpour, just the love for his son. You know, I mean, if he was just, it was a love letter to Sebastian, I think, in a lot of ways. So it was very powerful. If you haven't watched it, it's a tearjerker. Have the tissues handy for that if you haven't seen it. But it was really touching and powerful. I think we were all kind of worried to a certain extent about how the birthday would go for Seth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was saying he was going to keep it kind of small and private. I know that everybody had suggestions in different ways to celebrate, and I think as things got closer, he kind of handled it probably how I would. I would probably just want my very closest, you know, handful of people around. And that's what he was choosing to do. And all over social media, I'm sure he saw all the cards, all the wishes, all these kind of custom memes and things that people made just celebrating Sebastian and putting that out there. I know that kind of stuff, just talking to him a little, is important to him and was felt. So, you know, and should he be found and come home, you know, it would be a wonderful thing for him to look back and see how many people were celebrating for him. And so, you know, that was great. And we appreciate everyone out there that took the time to do some kind of tribute in your own ways. I saw them all over the place. I thought it was all very sweet.
And Women's Warrior says,
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit it.
that's okay. I did want to say, Women's Warrior emails a lot to me, and I try to get back to them, and I can't get back to them all because we are on such a tight schedule, but I will sit down over Christmas break and reply back to your emails. Thank you so much for being so supportive and being so helpful. We appreciate you.
You know, and I just wanted to say, I just saw that allegedly with Brittany is here. So Brittany J is there in the chat. And did you all see, it was last night or 2 nights ago where she had someone with kind of the opposite opinion of her?
Last night.
That was last night. I listened to about 30 minutes of it or an hour or so, something like that. And it was really good. It was really interesting. And it was nice to see people with these kind of polar opposite opinions about the case be able to have a civil discussion about it. So if you didn't see that from last night, it was really interesting and beneficial, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Well, you know, I thought it was interesting. I think you know.
Well, what I think is great is when you have these kind of like echo chambers, right? You've got these silos of opinions, and this can happen in anything, actually. When you have an echo chamber and you've got people that kind of reinforce something that is false, let's say, and you've got support.
You know my rule. If I can't say something nice, I don't say anything. That's why I can't say anything.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about this
about Brittany. I love Brittany.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
So
that.
I'm going to say this kind of broadly. What's interesting, which if you can do it, if you can manage to invite people in a warm way, like Brittany did, and have them come and share their thoughts and not attack them, just discuss like in a civil way, like you guys were doing. I think you were breaking the programming a little because there were some times where they were trying to defend a position that once they had to say it out loud, you could tell they were realizing how ridiculous their positions were at times. And if you had your echo chamber, you're not really, you're reinforced with your false belief, but you could tell at times you were cracking through the barrier there, because there were some things you were asking them to explain, to defend the position, and they couldn't in some situations. They would either go to the whataboutisms. That was typically or kind of making excuses a few times even. So it was really good. I think if you can, you did a very good job with it. So if you can do that in the future, I think that's a great exercise. Most people, and good to that person, whoever they were, most people are not willing to put themselves in that position to be challenged by others, even in a civil way. The way our society is, we're so polarized. We're kind of taught to just kind of attack each other. But it was good to see a healthy discussion. It's so rare. It's so rare in this case that it was. I just wanted to mention. I planned on mentioning it tonight anyway, but when I saw you were here, I wanted to mention it while you were there.
And I can say something nice about the discussion. I thought that everyone handled it very respectfully, and that was nice. I did not necessarily agree with some of the things I heard.
But, sure.
Yeah. I think we were sitting in bed, I think, listening to it. And I had a lot more to say than that.
That's right.
We're not going to talk about that right now.
No, but anyway, it was a great exercise. If you can pull that off again, I think it's great.
And then I also wanted to, Butterflies are free to fly has been a member for 2 months. And she says, let's bring this boy home to his dad.
Yes.
And thank you for being a member for 2 months. We appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you so much. We do appreciate the support with that. And Auntie, did you have any other thoughts about Seth's video the other night on Friday?
No, I just felt so much for him, and I really liked the way that he kept it very focused on Sebastian, and and I really like the way he ended it by saying, spend time with to honor him, and to celebrate his birthday, spend time with your own family and your own children. And I just thought he did a great job, and it was so heartfelt and genuine. And you could just see, where all those emotions that he's had for the last 9 months, has just collected, and he did a great job. It was so straight from the heart.
He's stronger than I am, for sure, because I don't think I would have been able to do that, let alone make it through.
I think he's gotten stronger over the course of the 9 months. I've seen him mature and just get stronger and more eloquent in the way he speaks. I mean, I've just seen him just do an amazing job over the last 9 months in handling himself and handling the situation.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. Actually, he has gotten better just at handling the media in general, I think, and probably just experience at this point. He's done a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he did a really great job of expressing what it's like, what he's going through, and I know everybody was feeling it.
And our sweet The Real Me Too has been a member for 5 months. I didn't even know we had a channel for 5 months. Yeah. She says, let's bring Sebastian home, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Yes, I was thinking about you today, Real Me Too. So we do appreciate it. Yeah, she's great. So let's go into the can we do the Seth interview? Let's play that, and for the people that haven't caught it, because this came on late last night. So you might have seen it circulating today. I know a lot of folks have been covering. I know Betty covered it, and a lot of what we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm sure most everybody that's gone on today has. But if you haven't seen this yet, my understanding was Seth wasn't even planning on doing an interview at all yesterday. He was going to keep it kind of private and quiet. And
our sweet Hey Jude is also here, member for 1 month. Love my crime dogs. When we love you back. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hey Jude. Yeah, that is one of my favorite pictures of Sebastian too. I don't know which one it is. That's one of my top. I like the one where he's on the boat too. And he looks so happy. And he's got the,
Yes. My new favorite picture though, I think, is the flamingo.
I know you love it.
I love that picture. I love that picture. I actually really like the school picture one, the one with the blue background too.
Oh, okay.
It's like maybe a school ID or something. Yeah, it's great.
My favorite one's the one where he's standing and he doesn't have his glasses on and he looks like he's like 17 or 18 years old. He looks so much older in that one picture, and he's very handsome.
He yeah, and he is one of those kids. He looks so different and older and younger depending on the picture, and that's why one of the reasons I'm glad we've got to get all this video, other than just kind of the analysis we all do, is we're getting a sense of him. There's been a lot of pictures, but not a lot of video to get any kind of sense of his personality, and he is youthful. He's not mature acting like he's not an he acts like a 15-year-old kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, it's just kind of nice getting any sense of his demeanor. I mean, I know it's just him having dinner and walking to the car and stuff like that, but it's still been nice to kind of just get a feel for who he is a little, outside of the whole evidentiary aspects of this.
Are you wanting to do the inside video first, or do you want
actually I'd like to do the Seth one first.
Oh, okay.
But we don't have to. We could come back to that.
No, it's fine. You just talk to chat for a second while I get it together.
Sure. So,
Brittany, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for Brittany. That's very sweet of you. We're always hanging out in your chat, at least until I fall asleep. I can't go as long as you do.
Oh, he can't hang at all.
Yeah.
I
catch you on the replay though. I catch you on the replay usually while I'm making breakfast.
You're the sweetest. Thank you so much.
That's very nice of you. We appreciate it.
I was going to tell her that we should probably, or any of our creator friends that have a live stream coming up after us. I think I have the option to redirect people. So in the future, we should put our heads together, and that way I can forward people to yours or whoever is coming on right after us. So I think there's a lot of people going tonight though. So
Merry Christmas from Justice Jane, one of our favorites around here. Thank you. I love
me some Justice Jane.
And number 249 there on the likes. So we appreciate that as well.
Which video are you talking about? Because I'm trying to go in order, and I got an at night video. Which one were you talking about? This one?
The one from last night.
The one from channel 2?
Yeah, channel 2.
Okay. Sorry, I was having trouble. Whoops.
9 months.
Okay.
So this is WKRN. Last night it was the 10 p.m. News segment, and as far unless it was a secret, I think this may have been an impromptu story. I had heard he was not planning on doing any media on the birthday. But you'll see. But he apparently had a meeting sometime with Sumner County Sheriff's Department on Saturday, and I don't know if he had planned this before or after, or if after that meeting he said, let's call the news and go talk to him. I don't know how that all played out. I haven't talked to these guys since. So anyway, this was a surprise, but I think this is a good surprise, and we'll take all the good news we can.
They may have contacted him, but being his birthday, they may have reached out to him as well.
That might be it. That might very well be it.
You want me to go ahead and play it?
Sure.
Okay.
Law enforcement has scaled back searches for Sebastian Rogers to an investigative format. The FBI has also offered a reward for information. Recently, Dog the Bounty Hunter joined the search and raised the reward amount, all while Sebastian's biological father continues his search efforts. News 2's Audrey Mayer speaks exclusively with his father and tells us where the investigation stands.
On December 7th, Sebastian Rogers' 16th birthday, his father Seth says a recent meeting with law enforcement has restored his confidence in their case.
Today, they have renewed my faith that they are definitely focusing on bringing my son home.
Seth didn't give any details on what was said in their meeting. Sebastian was last seen on February 26th in Hendersonville, nearly 10 months ago. The reward for information on Sebastian's whereabouts increased last month up to $200,000.
I thank the public for the support that they're giving me, and they continue to. Keep your eyes open. You could be the next person that might see him.
Seth says he won't ever stop searching and saying his son's name. Until he's found, the pain of not knowing where Sebastian is fills Seth with grief.
Today is a lot of sadness. It's a lot of sadness every day. It's hard to wrap your head around it. All right. Every day, it's like, get that phone call, waiting for that picture, waiting for information that my son has been found.
And Sebastian's 16th birthday, Seth says he hopes families spend time with their kids. He fondly remembers birthdays with Sebastian jumping in the pool, having water balloon fights, and eating cake. What is it like for you looking back on those memories today?
I'm not done making them. Looking back is nice, but looking forward to him being back is better.
I reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office about Sebastian Rogers. They told me there's still an active and ongoing investigation. And if you know anything about this case, to contact them. We have ways you can send tips listed up on our website. Kenley?
For the last 9
We were muted. Sorry.
Yeah. So there's another version of this interview that's kind of like not cut right somewhere that I saw where he says some other.
It was what was live on the news last night. Some people were playing it, and then I think they put it together, and this is what they posted.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what was cut out from that, but regardless, the overall message is that he has the renewed faith in Sumner County, and if you've been following the story for a while, is our understanding he hasn't really had a great relationship with them. At times, he's kind of vocalized his frustrations with them on his own channel and different interviews, wondering what's going on. They haven't been communicating. So for whatever reason, both sides agreed yesterday to get together and meet, and that's wonderful news. And if Seth came out of it, to me, he looked very hopeful, sad, of course, but he looks. I don't think he's. I think he's being genuine there when he says that he has renewed faith. Is that the sense you had? It wasn't just words. I didn't think it was just words.
Well, what struck me is I don't think I've watched it, on the big screen like I just did on the laptop.
Right.
And I could see the tears in his eyes,
Yeah.
but I could also see a ray of hope in his face that I haven't seen in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot more optimism in his voice than there has been.
So,
You want to read that?
oh yeah. Thank you, 5 Canes. Did you watch CJ? He has a pic of GH guy. Oh, Green Hoodie. Looks like salt, pepper, goatee, and came up with an estimated height of 5'7", 5'9", and weight of 180 to 210. Interesting.
I didn't
Not
see.
today. I watched CJ maybe 2 or 3 days ago.
No, we watched him last night because he was measuring the nose and stuff. Remember?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
We were there last night for a little bit. We just
Yeah.
got super sleepy.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll hop in on somebody's, live for like 30 minutes or so and that kind of thing.
We'll have to watch that though. That's interesting.
And,
How he came up with that. But
But
you
that-
know,
I
the
think that's
height, the height. Yeah, I think he's right about that.
that's what we
Well,
were
we had
saying.
talked about that height before.
I did not catch a goatee though. I did not. But that, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, the height was kind of what we were guessing that he was. I think that's what we were saying was he was like 5'8" or shorter. We were guessing.
mhm.
Certainly not like a. And of course we'll look at this in a bit, but I had thought maybe it was a lady just by the hand.
Mhm.
But after seeing what you all have now seen over the last day or two, it does look like a male. So I was wrong about the female part.
And
At
thank
least
you
I think
for
I was.
Thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that.
Yes,
Or
thank you
we
so much.
appreciate it. That's okay. Let's see. I saw some other stuff
They
going
said
on
it-
and I lost
They
it.
said to watch it from earlier today, so he must have done some new stuff today.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Well,
I haven't
that's
seen
great.
today's. So
Yeah, CJ is definitely a friend of the channel, and we recommend checking him out. So we'll
and
do that after we're done tonight.
I agree with this TikTok.
Oh, CJ, Sarah without an H. I think
He spells
I've got his
okay.
link somewhere. Let me see if it'll come
Yeah,
up.
he's been great. He's been around.
I
He's
don't
been
know if
covering
it'll
this
work
case
or
a long
not.
time. He does searches. He covers lots of missing people stories. And this is
Nope.
one of the ones he's done a lot over time.
Nightbot doesn't understand.
We met
my
him at
command.
one of the vigils. Super sweet, nice guy. And we of course we check out his lives once in a while, and he does really good work. He does a lot of trying to like break down film and video stuff like that. And yeah, he's definitely worth checking out. And if you can find the link, that
I'm looking for it.
just let me know when you do it so we can let her know it's in the chat.
Oh, you know what? It didn't save all my commands. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. I can't see that. That's why it didn't work. Okay. I will get it for you and put it in the chat.
But with this Seth situation, this is one of the reasons, as our channel, we came to the conclusion a long time ago that Seth was innocent in our minds. We cleared him, even if law enforcement hasn't. From our perspective, just there was a lot of reasons. But one of those is his own behavior. He acts like an innocent father looking for his child. Everything he has done has pointed that's true. And one of the things that happens with innocent parents after a while is they become very frustrated with law enforcement if their child's case is not solved. The one I like to compare it to is the Riley Strain disappearance, because that was also here in Middle Tennessee, happened right around the same time as Sebastian. He went missing in early March, and the parents were like the poster parents for how you would hope the parents of a missing person would act. Like, they mobilized very quickly. They were in town leading searches, on the news within 2 days. They had billboards all over Nashville. It became a national story. Some people think that Riley Strain's actually the reason that Sebastian got so well known, because lots of folks that were in town to cover Riley Strain started to recognize Sebastian's story about 30 minutes away, and that it kind of heightened that awareness. But as great as that mom was, and pleading with the public and everything she was doing, she was reaching a point right before they found his body where she was starting to get upset with Metro Police, thinking they were holding things back, and she was starting to get critical. But that's just natural. If you're a parent, if your kid's not found in a day or two or week or 3 weeks, and especially almost a year, and you're not hearing anything, you're gonna, if you love and you're looking for that child and you don't know what's happened, of course you're frustrated. You're gonna say some stuff. Anybody would. Any parent in that situation would, if you were innocent. And so that was never surprising. So I'm glad they had that conversation. It must have gone well. I don't think Seth would have gone out there saying that he has renewed faith if he didn't feel that way. So I think that was genuine. So it makes me wonder. I don't know if we'll know. I don't know if we'll ever know exactly what happened in that meeting, but they must have done something to assure him. Maybe they showed him some evidence, just kind of showed him some video, had a conversation. Maybe they've got a new detective that he likes. I don't know what it is, but whatever happened in there, it's a good thing. They need to be. We need as many people on the same page, all moving forward toward the same goal. The division is not helpful. We need teamwork with the PIs, with the parents, with the searchers, with media. Everybody needs to be rowing in the same direction of finding out what happened to Sebastian and bringing him home. And so, if they made a step yesterday, that's amazing news. And I think that's the case. Just by we've been around Seth a little bit. I kind of get a feel for his personality, kind of how he. I think we've got a read on him, and I think he was being genuine
for
there.
sure. Yeah.
So that I'm glad he had whatever kind of news he got yesterday, I'm glad it was reassuring and that he's in a might have been a good day for him.
Well, it was an interesting day for them to pick to speak with them too.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. And they had to be aware. And and then also when they did the announced the
reward.
$50,000 reward, they did it on the 6-month anniversary. So it's like they are kind of aware of these milestones and how emotionally powerful those are. So that I guess I bet that couldn't be a coincidence that they wanted to talk to him on that birthday, but maybe it was. But anyway, I'm glad he got some good news, whatever that was.
Charlotte's webbing, I love it. Says Dylan Round's parents got frustrated with Ellie. Thank you, Charlotte. That's very sweet of you.
Thank you, Charlotte. We appreciate that. And that is a great name. Yeah, they all do eventually. I know anybody would. You can be back the blue all day long, but 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you're going to reach a point where you're going to wonder, do we have the right people looking for my kid and trying to solve his case? It's only natural. So somebody said, good question, Graham. I wonder what the question was.
I don't know. Graham's
Okay.
always got interesting stuff.
Did the Proudfoot speak along with Seth? I don't know. He did not say that.
That's a good
I don't think
question.
I don't know. I don't know. Not
Not that we're aware of, but that's not, unheard of.
Yeah, I have no idea. We have not talked to him.
Yeah, we just saw the news story like you guys did. So
he may choose to do another live at some point. Maybe he'll talk about what he can talk about. I'm sure some of it he won't, I would guess. One of these things with the relationship with the police and the parents, there is a detective I've mentioned a couple of times since we started doing this that I'm a fan of. His name is Pat Pastiglione. He was a homicide detective in Nashville. He's kind of like famous, and at least locally he's famous. He's been on a couple of TV shows and had books written about him and stuff like that. And one of the things when you read about him or see interviews with him, he always talks about how critical your relationship is with the victim's family. And he's like, you've kind of got these two jobs. And he's like, one, you're doing the investigation, and the other is you're helping the family through this situation also. And he's like, and you can't tell them everything. You can't even tell them a lot. You tell them what you can, and you have to he goes, and even after these cases close, he would say, I stay in touch with these families for years, because it becomes sort of an unofficial part of the job, that you're the person that they've come to in the worst time of their life, and you've kind of got the answers. And anyway, he would talk about how important that part of the job is, and hopefully yesterday was a good step toward building a relationship for Seth and law enforcement where they are working together. And obviously Seth's got PIs and probably an intelligence agency and all kinds of folks trying to research and gather information, and hopefully that's all working together and not against each other. It's if it can all be with a common goal and all sort of on the same page as much as possible, then I think we can get better results. Anyway, anything else on Seth's interview that you had, Aunt E or Mrs. E?
No, I don't have anything.
So in a little bit, I do want to do the Texas Roadhouse first. But
I did want to say we have 300 likes, and
thank you for that.
We appreciate that. That's awesome, guys. Of course, Mr. E's rule. We have to have 1,000 likes.
It's a tall order, though. It's a tall order tonight. So we got 700 to go.
Well, I'll tell you what I can
We
do.
did hit it after last time. We just didn't hit it during the show.
Say that if we hit it after, you would play it on the
once.
Okay, how about I'll make a deal with you. How about if we get 500 likes on this show, you will play the
Okay
machete party after that point.
That sounds
Does that
good.
sound
We'll
good?
do that. 500
We actually
tonight.
have a little bit of a surprise. Aunt E doesn't even know about it, right? Are you going to share that first, or are we going to talk about the other first?
Do you mean?
What we did today?
Oh, yeah. Now now let's just save it.
Oh, Aunt E doesn't even
Oh,
know.
well, thanks.
So before we get into the, I see, because we'll get into Texas Roadhouse in a minute.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about kind of how all this led up to where we are. So we had been here last week talking about Green Hoodie, and I think, as far as I know, it was just us and Justin that had seen that video at that point. There
It
might have
was
been a few
a
others.
week ago. Yes.
And
Tonight.
so anyway, we described what we had seen, and since then there's been these kind of like
He is so far from a Grinch, guys. He's got
like the
kind of,
opposite of a Grinch.
I'm more Grinchy than he is. He's got the kindest heart in the world.
That's for sure.
You're not supposed to agree.
Well,
You're supposed to be like, no. I've got the meanest heart.
No,
you
you're
have a
both
beautiful
great.
heart.
You're both great.
I'm
That's
just
the
kidding.
sibling rivalry coming out there.
I'm totally kidding.
Um,
No, she's got a lot of Christmas spirit. She starts buying Christmas presents like in August. So
I
So-
do.
what I kind of wanted to go big picture on how this all happened this week with the leaks. So you kind of had it wasn't exactly a leak. We just got to see a video, and then we were asked, we're told that we couldn't share the video, but that we could describe it. And so of course we did. And then there was kind of like a response with another leak, and then another leak from at night. And so you kind of had this situation going on. And when why? So this is the way I approach all media in general. As you know, I love I love analyzing propaganda, brainwashing techniques, persuasion, influence, all that kind of stuff. It's interesting to me how it's used in psychological operations and irregular warfare and all of that, kind of like in the big political arena. And so what's been really interesting to me is when we've been studying this case, in a lot of ways, it doesn't feel like a true crime case. It feels like irregular warfare. It's felt like an information war in many ways. And it has been like that since even week one. So I just kind of wanted to kind of go through a little mini timeline here of what I'm talking about, because it hasn't been just what happened to Sebastian. It's been attempts by various actors to control the narrative and how we perceived the case. So if you were aware of this case in week one, what happened was he goes missing, massive searches for a few days, and somewhere around day 3, 4, and 5 in there, people start going, "Where's mom?" They weren't letting their names out there. Nobody knew who they were. Nobody knew what they looked like. They were completely radio silent, and it was intentional. And with each passing day, that criticism was getting louder and louder and louder. Then eventually Seth speaks, and he sounds just like you expect a dad to sound in this situation. And then it's still, "Where's the mom?"
Wait, Seth spoke before Katie and Chris?
Am I wrong?
I can double check.
Okay, regardless, whenever
But Seth did say that they weren't allowed, that was it TBI had told them initially not to say anything. Yeah, that's what happened. He told the story on two live streams ago.
Okay, I just thought he spoke first, but it doesn't matter. Actually.
He turned down interviews, is what he said, and then
Yeah.
CP and KP went on a YouTube channel, and then he called them up and said, "I thought we weren't supposed to be doing this."
Okay.
So, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, but I'm not. So
Sorry.
anyway, yeah, I'm kind of want to do broad anyway.
Okay.
So broad strokes. You have the first week of silence. Everything that they have done really has been reactionary. It's never proactive.
Oh.
So the first week they get all this criticism because they're not speaking, right? Then week 2, they break their silence. They come out, they do the Duchess interview, a couple of interviews with the Hands and with Holly Thompson and whatnot that week. I don't remember how many that was, maybe 3 or 4 or so. And that kind of backfired. because of Chris's personality, that overbearing, that sort of, he came across as a potentially abusive, if not physically, psychologically type of person, is really what the perception was. So he got a lot of heat when he came out, right?
Mhm.
So then they disappear for like a week or so, and then the flashlight video comes out, and then they come out again, and this time they do kind of this "We're Innocent" tour, with all those interviews with like Smiley and Web Sleuths and various others. And in all of those interviews, it was more like defending themselves, right? So they were reacting again to the flashlight video. Then sometime around, I think it was late April, there was a pivot, and none of it was working. Chris and Katie were under Lady Tits for Tat says the hands interviewed backfired because, well, hands.
Yeah, that was
it was creepy as heck.
I can't even. I try to look at
Yeah.
it for editing. I can't.
Yeah, poor choice. And my guess
Oh.
was they didn't want to have their faces analyzed. Yes, self-preservation purposes, totally
Yes,
reactionary, trying to
that's
defend
exactly.
themselves. And Betty was the first one actually that pointed out the
Yeah, that really got him thinking.
yeah, when you were the one that pointed out to me that I had not heard this before about the flashlight video, that wave of interviews was all kind of like a alibis and defending themselves. That's when they went on that tour.
And if people haven't had a chance to go over and watch Betty doing the timeline, she's done several different videos with the timeline like that, really breaking it down. It's really good.
Oh yeah,
It's really good.
yeah. If you're following this case and you're not following Bullhorn Betty, there are not many people that know this court case better than she does. And so yeah, her analysis is always
You
spot
said
on.
court case.
Oh, did I? Anyway, so then you had that. Then sometime in late April, none of this had worked, right? It was all kind of backfiring. During that period, Katie and Chris were like public enemy number one. No one believed them. No one backed them. And then somewhere around late April, there was a pivot, and Seth became the target. And that lasted for a long time.
Mhm.
He started getting smeared and defamed and attacked by all of these people. And as the public was kind of sitting there going, what is going on? It was hard to understand where this pivot came from. It was one of the reasons we ended up starting our own true crime podcast, because we thought the conversation out there was completely illogical. And so we wanted to offer a place where there was some common sense approach to all of this. Are we okay?
I can you take a break and take a phone call real quick?
Take a phone. Me?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Auntie, can you talk to chat for just a second?
I can.
Okay, hold on.
Lots of good comments too. Let's see. Let me find some. This was a good one. NJ Robbins said Seth and Chris both said it was a trash truck, and Nick was the only a clip of a large video. That's true.
Auntie, I'll be right back.
Sure. Nothing like leaving me with the show. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do that so we can get to our machete video. If we get to 500 tonight, we're going to do it. And if you haven't seen it, it's a stitch. It's great. Tennessee Nurse says, nope, I never pivoted. I've not changed my mind about much of anything this whole time. Yeah, I think it's been easy to see a pattern of behavior over time, and it makes it a little bit easier now looking back and having that pattern kind of written out, like the way Betty has done her timelines. It says a lot, and it starts to create the full picture, I think, a lot of times. And in the last live that Betty just did, she had people, voting. Do you think it was a trash truck? Most people absolutely did not think it was a trash truck. The majority do think it was flashlights. Let's see. Yes, Mob Crew did lots of analysis on the cars and the flashlight videos, and I thought that they were really good. Someone said that just a second ago. Mob Crew did an excellent job on the flashlight videos. He did. So if you've not watched Mob Crew in some of his analysis, it's pretty good. Let's see. And Betty said, how do you think he left? Either willingly or unwillingly? I've gone back and forth with that a lot. There was a long time that I thought that he made it home and something bad happened. Then there was a time that I went through that I thought maybe he didn't make it home. But with this Texas Roadhouse video, I think it's given us a pretty good understanding that there weren't many minutes from the time they left Texas Roadhouse till the time they got home, based on when the trash video, someone taking out the trash at their home, was. So we've only got a few minutes there. So they basically had time to drive home, go inside, take out the trash. So I think he made it home. I think he did go home because there wasn't enough time for something to happen to him or with him during that trip home. So I think he got home, but willingly or unwillingly, I think it was unwillingly, but there's no evidence of that. That's just a gut feeling I have. If you think it was willingly, he left the home, put a 1. If you think it was unwillingly he left the home, put a 2. I'm just curious to see what you guys think. If you think he left willingly, a 1. If he left unwillingly, a 2.
Sorry about that.
I apologize.
Okay. I thought Betty had a great question. She said, so how do you think he left, willingly or unwillingly? I said 1 willingly or 2 unwillingly. So I'm just kind of curious as to what everybody thinks. And it looks like we have lots and lots of 2s. Have 1.
Yeah, I would go 2 also.
Yeah, very few 1s. And I agree. I think it was unwillingly, but that's just a gut feeling I've had. And I've talked a little bit about how over time I've changed from thinking something happened and he didn't make it home to now I'm back to thinking he made it home. But that's what this case has done. It takes you on a journey, and your perceptions and all this information changes your views all the time. But I've kind of gone back to where I was at the beginning, and I think something nefarious happened to him.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do too. Yeah. It's just a matter of what exactly.
Thanks everybody for participating in that. But we have mostly 2s, just a couple 1s.
Well, thanks for kind of running the thing there while we took a phone call. Appreciate you doing that.
No problem.
Sorry, it's a little family thing.
Yeah, so we're all okay though.
Good.
So basically, I was just kind of wanting to kind of go through this ebb and flow of the narratives up to this point. So for several months there, you had this kind of relentless attack on Seth, and then that kind of, and I think that was always by design. I think that it became clear that Seth was the reason this case wasn't fading away, and that he was the one that was advocating. The parent is always the best advocate for the child, and if there's not someone there to push and keep it going forward, then the case fades away. And this case often gets compared to Summer Wells, and the thing with the Summer Wells case is you don't have a Seth. And that's might be the difference, and why this one I think is going to be solved. I don't know when, but I do think that this is going to be eventually solved. And I think if that happens, it will be largely because Seth did not give up. And
that other case that Betty covered too, with the lady that had disappeared with her on the farm. It was Minnesota or Wisconsin. I can't remember the name. Oh, that was her brother. Remember, her brother worked with Cold Case Foundation.
Oh, the one that was the tank.
Yes,
the one I always get the last name wrong. It's
yes.
like it's Wagner or Warner or Warren. It's one of the 3,
Warner.
and I always say the wrong.
I want to think it's
D. Warner.
Yeah,
D. Warner. Yes,
yeah, that one, because that's a fascinating story. Even people are saying it's D. Warner.
If you haven't looked into it, I would highly recommend it. It's interesting.
Yeah. So you had that situation going on, and then you reach the 6 month mark, and then you have the reward announced, and what happens? Of course, Seth, releases his statement about being, thrilled with the reward or whatever, and the Proudfoots are contacted. They have no comment by the news. They don't speak to the news at all. Then, of course, there's a lot of backlash from that. 2 days later, they come out with a statement. Oh, we're happy about the reward. Reactionary, never proactive, always kind of reacting to the negative ebbs and flows of the news. Then there comes a point where there are some searches being organized and different things, and there was a lot of criticism of why the Proudfoots aren't doing searches. So then, there's a picture out there of them doing a drone search with some people. Again, if you're cynical a little bit about their motives, that appeared also to be a reaction to the criticism, the public criticism. It seems they're very concerned and active in how they're perceived in the narrative war. And so we get up to this week, and this Texas Roadhouse thing, it may cause some shockwaves, right? It's been the talk of the week, this whole situation. And so, we mentioned this, and Justin talks about it. Everybody's kind of running with the story.
And we were asked not to share it.
Right. We were asked not to share it. And I'm sure there were some investigative reasons or strategies and all that. For one reason, when you've got people in pictures like this, you don't necessarily want them they might just be innocent bystanders, and you don't want the whole public. You know how the web sleuths get, right? A name gets out there and 1,000 people are digging into their history, and they're just an innocent guy going to work or having dinner.
Right.
And they don't need to have
trash out or something.
Yeah. You don't want to have their life destroyed just because they happen to be walking into the Texas Roadhouse, at a weird moment. Right. So you try to just kind of eke these things out as you need. So I understand the strategy. I think that's part of what they were doing, trying to protect innocent people. That story's circulating. People are kind of like trying to piece some things together, and, web sleuths are doing what they do. And then the other side, somebody decided to leak 4 pictures from the video, the surveillance footage. And so whenever you're looking at a story, whenever there's a leak, the question isn't what's being leaked. The question is always, why is this being leaked? What's the motivation behind this information being made public to us now? So even for us, when we were, shown a video, I'm wondering, why am I seeing this video? Am I being, we get a lot of stuff sent to us, and we want to be cautious. We're not being given disinformation. Sometimes I think that's happened to us, where somebody has emailed us something strange and we've gone, nah, we're not, right? We're not putting that out there. People are setting you up. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens like this. And anyway, there's always a reason that somebody wants to leak. My feeling about our source is they were trying to get a little bit of information. They didn't want to release everything for some of the reasons I'd mentioned. You don't want to, if any of these people were involved, yellow jacket guy or whatever, you don't want them to get spooked and run out of the country. But you're also, maybe you need a little help in some way. Anyway, there's a lot of reasons why you might do stuff like that. So then what was the reason for the 4 pictures to be dropped? And these 4 pictures I think they were given to at least 4 or 5 creators, right? I mean, they were dropped all over the place. My understanding is
right.
So I don't know who the actual leaker was, but there is some reason that person chose to leak those 4 images and not the full video. And so what was interesting was the pictures weren't just leaked, a narrative was leaked also. And the narrative leaked was, oh, this is nothing to worry about. This guy was just walking into the restaurant. Nothing to see here. All these people are just making something out of nothing, and whatever. And so that put, so it was like a counterpunch to the narrative. That's my view. I think that was somehow part of the motivation for the leak. So then at night, their counterpunch to that counterpunch was, okay, well, here's the full video. So they, or not the full, but they released a fair amount to prove that they weren't, putting out these false narratives or whatever, that this actually happened the way we had described it. So That's what I mean when there's kind of like this little information war going on, and people are leaking certain things. And I think behind the scenes there are people pushing different creators. Maybe they don't even realize it's happened, to view various actors and people in a false light. That I think that's it's been active. It's fascinating. It's interesting to watch, but it's dangerous. All of it's dangerous, because those are real lives. It's in here too.
And Patricia, we don't reveal any of our sources. So
No, can't do that. I'm
sorry.
Yeah, so I mean that's part of it too. We kind of view ourselves as try to hold ourselves to journalistic standards. So we don't talk about stuff unless we're told we can talk about it
Explicitly that we can talk about it.
by anybody. We've got local friends and people here in the county that tell us stuff that we've heard and know, and unless they give you permission, we keep it all in the back of our minds and factor it in, but it's not for public consumption. We won't develop many sources that way over time. If every time we hear a story we burn our source, that there's some trust with that, but yeah, so I apologize, we can't do that unless they decide they want us to reveal the source.
Real quick, while we're kind of breaking for a minute, Lana sent us some coffee money. How sweet is that?
Thank you so much.
She
We
has
appreciate that.
No idea how much coffee we drink
It helps.
in this house.
It's a big part of it's my guilty pleasure is the coffee, no doubt.
It is. That's his favorite thing.
I've had to cut back on my coffee though. It's causing me heartburn.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
kind of
not.
stink.
I've doubled up on it since
I'm
we've
only
started
one
doing
cup
this.
right
I drink so much more coffee than
Yeah.
I ever drink in my whole life.
I agree with this too, Rosebud. So in my opinion, them leaking those photos did no favors to the Proudfoots because it brought out the video and proved it may be nothing and brings us back to the beginning, the house, and who was last with Sebastian, in my opinion. Yeah. I think there's a lot of ways to interpret these videos. It's been interesting to see everybody kind of go through them and give their thoughts. If you mean us, well, it's not hearsay. We know who our sources are. They're not anonymous to us. I just can't reveal our sources, if that's what you mean. So I never our standard here has always been we don't put anything out. We don't quantify or we don't consider information that comes from an anonymous source that we can't vet or verify ourselves. Unless there's multiple sources kind of attached to it. A good example of where we kind of factor stuff like that is actually Bullhorn Betty and Silver on the scene. They each had some anonymous sources, but they had very similar information and about Chris's timeline out in Memphis. And that we do consider as likely true. So we have used that in discussion. But if we only had that just from Silver or just from Betty, because I can't vet that source myself, then we just kind of stay away from that talk. Because one of the things we wanted to do, a lot of what we've done here over the past has been speculating about what happened to Sebastian, theorizing, trying to find what the truth is. And so we want to base those theories and speculation on as much fact-based information as we can. Right. Exactly. As you're saying, so we try to leave out the rumor because most of the rumors, I bet 90% of the anonymous stuff I've heard about this case have been false, maybe worse than that. So there's really no reason to give it any airtime. It just kind of makes things confusing and distracts us from the facts that we do know. I feel like I'm ranting.
Thank you, car guy. I will try it.
Apologize.
Thank you. Seattle Best Portland. I'm writing it down right now.
I forgot what it is. I like the one you have at your house now, though. Or is that Mom's?
Yeah.
What's the one that I always drink when I'm there? I mean, I bring mine sometimes, but sometimes
The Javalia?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I like that one too, but I don't know I'm just getting heartburn a lot. I'm writing this one down though.
All right. Sorry, I thought that was cute. I just love Graham. Did you see his message?
Trustini.
Tennessee Nurse says it showed Sebastian as a young man, not a boy. Also, in my opinion, throughout this, his identity has been built around his autism and disability, when he's such so much more than his diagnoses. Yeah.
I
Yeah, I agree
agree.
with that too.
And then
There's good and bad with that in a way. I think the autism is what drew a lot of us to the story in the first place, because so many of us so many people are affected by it, that we all have a soft spot for people with that condition at all. Is it the 5 Canes? I guess, yeah. The
Yes.
5 Canes says, I think the videos prove CP wasn't at TRH.
absolutely.
That's a great point, actually, because that has been one of the possible theories out there, is that they were not at dinner alone, but were with maybe Chris or other family members and such. We've always heard that. So that's true. Deductive logic is a great way to get to the truth. And so that's one of those little things we can check off the list, that Chris was not there that night, having dinner with them. So
I just
that's a great point.
would like to say that if you're ever in chat with Justice Jane, she is relentless on putting out the names of and information of missing people and children. I don't know. I appreciate her so much.
I know you do.
I just love her.
You
I
love
love
it
her. I love her name. I love her profile picture. I love everything.
I know that she's being
I'm a
sincere.
huge fan.
Every time she sees one of your posts, she's like,
Oh,
she likes seeing the Justice
And
Jane posts.
Autumn
Oh.
Autumn Light would like to share some thoughts privately. So if one of our mods could drop our email in the chat, you are more than happy to email with us.
more than welcome. Not
More
more
than
than
welcome.
happy.
Sorry, more than happy. You might be more than happy, but you're more than welcome as well.
So unless you guys have anything about the narrative stuff that I was kind of mentioning, do y'all want to go ahead and get into the video, unless you have any thoughts on that?
I thought it was funny that people were saying we were not telling the truth. I thought that was kind of funny. But
Well, that narrative changed right not long after some of the people came back on and said, yeah, you know what, I was wrong. They did know it is true. So at least some of them were pretty decent about how
they were gracious about it. And, yeah. So, and that's
we
appreciated.
could be wrong as well. And if we are wrong, we'll tell you. We're not going to beat around the bush. But yes, it
No,
was nice to hear some of them say that.
I felt like that was it takes a I don't know. It just takes a good person to admit when they're wrong. So
Of course. You should. Yeah, it's a great trait.
mhm.
None of us are going to get everything right about this stuff. I'm sure there are some things that I believe about what happened to Sebastian that are not quite accurate. I'm sure that's right. Well, I appreciate that. Nobody who is somebody.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't blame people for being skeptical. I think we said that back then too. That healthy skepticism is good. It was what was funny was we were having just a couple of times we'd hear people just say that we were just like completely, lying.
They just said, "Oh, they're liars."
Yeah, we're just calling us, which is funny when you're on the end of it.
Actually,
and you're telling the truth.
Time
And
out.
so you're kind of like, you're kind of laughing because you're like, well, I mean, eventually, I'm assuming.
Well, time out.
truth
We
is gonna
don't. We
come out.
have people send us clips. We don't sit around watching that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Well, we get stuff in our comments and stuff too,
Oh,
like
sure.
this. So
K-Max says Google it. Baking soda in the coffee. There you go, Annie.
Doesn't it affect the taste?
I don't
I'm
know.
afraid.
And then our sweet lady tit for tat, who made our songs and does all the wonderful things, says, "Can I ask why the car Green Hoodie gets out of does not park behind Katie? That's what At Night said in the poster. Is there
know.
more video?"
there has to be. Well, I'm sure there's more video.
Yeah, because it seems to have
It's more what they released.
evolved.
I guess this was Saturday night. What they released late Saturday night was different than what we saw. What we saw was actually much shorter,
Mhm.
like a quarter of what you guys saw
And
Saturday.
much grainier.
Yeah, our version was grainier, and it helped us to see the bigger, longer version too. But yeah, so let's get into all of this. Let's do the video.
Sure.
Do you want to do
Which one do you want to do?
whatever you got? Whatever's easiest.
Well, I mean, do you want to do inside, outside, or do you want to do?
Yeah, let's go inside out, just so we kind of go in
Okay.
order.
You want me to just do the 2-minute inside the one over here?
Yeah.
That was posted. I think that's
The
it.
restaurant.
This one. Is this it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about this. I guess kind of what you're looking for is mood, body language a bit. Did Sebastian seem upset in any way? Nervous? Did he look? What's hard is we don't know his baseline, like Seth and Katie and everybody else knows. So we don't have anything to compare it to.
Not sure why it's not
Can we
going up.
play and still talk over it, or will we need to pause?
We can. Let's see. This is at night. I don't think we have to, but I think we can.
Well, whatever is easier. So,
Someone mentioned that he did not have his cell phone in the video. I didn't notice a cell phone either. They wondered if maybe it was at home or what, but that was something I hadn't paid attention to in the several times that I've watched it.
well, Seth has talked about because his cell phone was so locked down, a lot of times he would put it on the charger and never pick it up because there was nothing on there. No games or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to mute us so I can play this so it doesn't echo.
Oh, okay.
You tell me when you want me to stop.
Okay. Well, let's just go a couple of minutes in and we'll talk about observations.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I just kind of want to see where we're all at this point.
I kind of see that altercation between them at the beginning, where he shakes his head no. You can tell she's kind of aggravated with him, and she kind of shakes her hands. And I actually saw that on Betty's when she was reviewing the video, and she slowed it down where she was like, you could tell she was a little angry with him, or was being emphatic with him at the beginning about something. I thought maybe it was about the little games, if that was a little game thing on the table where they can play games before you pay, that kind of thing, and that maybe he wanted to do it and she said no.
You know what struck me, Andy? And I know that our son is more severe, but there's a lot of similar qualities. Just the way he carries himself. That's what struck me. And I was just looking at him. He seems so sweet. He seems so well mannered.
The
No.
eating too reminded me of yours.
It's kind of
Just,
a little
you know,
nibbling on it. It's
yes,
cute.
when
It's
he
just
gets
cute.
when he gets on that, you know, when it's food time, it's food time.
Right. Sorry.
Has something on the table, not his phone, but didn't see him pick up anything from the. Okay. Did y'all see that? I didn't see him laying anything
I
on the
didn't
table.
see. I guess I missed that. I've looked at different things different times. I did see the thing with where she was kind of talking to him, and he kind of shook his head no, briefly, and you could tell she was kind of telling him not to do something or something. There was some kind of interchange there that was a little bit negative.
I'll tell you too, something that struck me as well is I think he looks a lot like Seth. A
Oh,
lot more
yeah.
like Seth than I thought.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that hair looks so much blonder here than in so many other pictures. Maybe that's just
Right.
the lighting, but
It does.
I see why they keep saying like the blondish brown and all that, because I keep thinking he's more brunette, but there definitely is blonde in there.
There's yellow lighting in that
So
restaurant.
I know a lot of it. A lot of the
Yes.
talk is she surveying? Is she just looking around, or is she looking for something or someone? I know that's been a lot of the talk, and I mean, you could make that argument either way.
I think I agree with Jacob Screw. I think he looks much older in the video than I guess, imagined. Not imagined, but I guess in my mind, he is the kid who's getting his glasses. And that's quite a bit younger than the reality.
K-Mac said it's like looking at her son. I know she had
I
mentioned
agree.
before they looked so much alike. You've seen a
Oh, yeah.
picture
Yeah.
of him here.
She sent me pictures of him, and I agree. And Reality One says he looks 16 to me. I think that, yeah, I agree. I agree so much.
Man, it does look like she was looking for somebody specifically, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just so hard to read her mind,
Yeah, Laurie, actually, that's interesting.
Yeah, there is a little smile. Lori says, watch her eyes and slight smile when she looks this way. It's like she spotted someone and couldn't stop the smile.
Mm-hmm. Audacity says maybe she's looking for the server. Maybe.
That is possible. I mean,
But
it is.
Their drinks are full. They've got their food.
I'll tell you one thing.
I mean, something funny could have happened over there,
you never
something
know.
kind of amusing. You just don't
At
know.
another booth. Yeah, sure.
Or somebody's having, they're having a big time, and maybe she's seeing what they're doing.
I mean, it's a small
Well,
town.
when they sing
She might have
a
recognized
birthday
somebody.
song or something like that, everybody usually looks over, and it could
Well,
be something. like
but
that.
don't you think Sebastian would have probably been looking over too?
Well,
I don't know.
possibly.
I'll tell you what, I don't know anything about the dish, but I always thought that he ate salmon. And that looks like pasta to me. You have hit that
I know.
15
I am
times.
so sorry.
You're
I'm a-
hurting people's ears.
I've been a total
It's not
spasm.
that bad.
You should have seen before we came on the live. I was dropping everything and my headset. That was a mess. Yeah, I mean, it could totally be something innocent like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Betty says it. I thought it might be looking for a server until the interaction outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't seem overstimulated either to have had such a big day. I would have been overstimulated. LOL.
He seems tired to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't have a point of reference, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, so Alicia says she has a huge question when she comes back in. So okay, yeah. If we can answer, we'll try. I know there was a lot of talk of her just seeming disconnected, and we're getting little clip. Even this, it's there. I think they're there for maybe 45 minutes or so. It seems like, and maybe they were having good moments. It's all kind of cut up. We don't know. Maybe we're seeing her. It's just so hard when you just see little
That's a good point.
snippets.
If she was looking for a server, maybe a server would be coming to the table. I don't know.
And Bullhorn Betty was talking about this. I think it was today. She was talking about why things get released sometimes the way they are. She's like, well, when you're going through video like this, you kind of have to clear it in steps. You want to analyze everything, make sure you're not going to put something out in the public that might hurt the investigation. So there might be reasons why we're just getting these little snippets here and there. We obviously, if they think there's something in here that's critical evidence that would hurt something, they're not going to put it out, at least not intentionally. That kind of thing, they would just probably send to the FBI or Sumner.
Mm-hmm.
And Diane, I noticed that as well. She said the first clip showed her eating nothing but a bite of bread, but the second she was having soup. And I did see that because it looked like in the first thing that I saw there wasn't food, but then I did see her move her arm and it looked like a glass of water and a cup of soup.
Yeah. So let's do the rest of this video. And then if there's anything else we notice, and then we'll go on to the Green Hoodie in the parking lot.
Okay.
And
okay?
Yeah.
And Megan also said, why did she post a different photo of them as the night before when clearly it wasn't the same night by clothing and hair? Why didn't she show the picture she took of him as the most recent? And that's a very good question. Why was the last picture she took on her phone not the one that was used?
Well, and I thought about that too. And devil's advocate on that. Is it possible those were not good, clear pictures to show?
Possibly. She took the time to take them.
Well, I agree with that. But I mean, it's not like he was posing and it was a direct picture. It looks like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. One of them looks like she's doing it when he's eating and he doesn't know it. And the other one, he actually, looks at her.
Right. Well, let me go ahead and play this a little bit more, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna mute us real quick. Muted. Everybody's muted.
I think we're back.
I saw funny. I don't know who CoffeeZilla is, but hopefully CoffeeZilla exposes all the criminals and answers from Ellie comes next month. I hope so too.
Yeah, I do too. Maybe CoffeeZilla is a YouTuber.
I don't know.
I don't know that one. Yeah, I mean, I think it feels like, you would think 10 months in that we would be the case would be getting colder. It actually feels like there's momentum, if anything.
Mhm.
I think I feel more hopeful now than I might have 4 or 5 months ago, especially before that FBI reward came out. With everything that's going on, we're 10 months in, and we're getting all this video now.
Right.
And it's caused a lot of ruckus and commotion for sure. Yeah, I don't know if everybody's kind of like looking at his demeanor. It's just so hard. I just don't know what he typically is like. Purple World says, I literally sat in the booth to the right of her last week, and there is one row of booths in the outside wall where she's looking. I can't remember if there were windows there. Oh, like maybe she's looking outside. I hadn't thought about it like that. Is she looking in the direction of her own car? Do you know, Purple World, if it's that direction or not? Because I haven't been inside that restaurant.
Okay, sorry. CoffeeZilla investigates people who scam for crypto and other scams. He's a genius, but not a true crimer. Okay, well, thanks for letting us know. I did not know. I'd not heard of that. I thought it was because we were talking about coffee. I thought I had no idea.
I didn't either.
Well, yeah, okay. So they do crypto kind of stuff.
Well, that actually, Auntie might be real interested in that. So
I wonder if they're going to get on that Hawk Tua scam or whatever. If you heard all the people that lost money on that deal. Do you know what I'm talking about?
no.
50 million. Yeah, a rug pull on crypto.
I'm gonna jump in.
Anyway.
Oh no, I have heard something about that. Just a tad.
Yeah, people got
A lot of that
wiped out on that
scamming
one.
goes on with crypto because people
Yeah.
don't understand it and they take advantage of people's lack of knowledge.
I don't know.
Man, it's so
It's so hard to tell. I say this stuff. I have friends who want me to listen to audio and people who want me to listen or want me to see things in videos. And I have such a difficult time. I said this before. It's all like the ultrasounds to me. I can't see stuff. I have to watch something on a big screen and several times before I can really catch stuff.
I didn't see anything light up. I'll have to go back and watch again for this light up in her pocket. That's interesting.
Oh, so that the story I was just talking about, Amber Dawn Rising says he's the one who exposed the Hawk Tua girl. So that's the one that pointed that out, I guess. So yeah, I saw that all over X for the last couple of days.
Yes. I know what you're talking about now. I forgot about it.
Oh, I didn't know that, Rubicon. I don't remember that. I don't remember her stating that. But I mean,
they were asked about younger pics instead of recent ones. And KP said that he was cuter when he was younger, but recent pics, he is funny looking.
I did not. I don't remember that.
Hmm.
You know,
I don't
I'm
remember
actually
that.
going through all of the interviews again and
Oh my God.
timelining them. I know. I've done
It's
it so many
so-
times.
There's
But it's so
much.
overwhelming because there's so much information. I forget where I heard stuff and I'm making I shared it with you, a giant timeline of
Spreadsheet.
each spreadsheet of who said what when. That I feel that's important.
I see. K-Mac is saying that term is bad, y'all. Don't say that term. My students get in trouble for that.
I have
Yes.
no
I get-
idea.
I get what you're getting at. How else
Yeah.
do you return? Oh, yeah. The HT girl. Maybe you could just call her the HT girl.
Yeah, that would be probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't know, but I knew nobody would know who I was talking about if I didn't say
True.
say that.
Well,
Yeah,
people
so-
started using G
Oh yeah.
H G, and I was like, "What's GHG?" And that was in Betty's chat, and somebody said Green Hoodie Guy. So now he's got an
Oh,
acronym,
okay.
the GHG.
Really? That's funny. That's funny. I'll tell you, I'm interested to know what was on the sweatshirt because it bugged me so bad.
Well, we tried.
We tried so
We
hard.
worked on this with you guys and tried to figure out what these letters were. So now maybe, now instead of us trying to relay a visual,
You guys can help us.
You guys can see if you think we were wrong or right or onto something with these letters. We'll be interested to see what your opinions are. And this longer video, it gives us more context, and I see why they thought they suspected some things at a time, and so we we'll get into that here in a moment too. But do you want to do?
I just wanted to kind of Aria. Hi Aria, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here and helping modding. Wasn't there a mention of meeting cousins before the Texas Roadhouse or at the Texas Roadhouse for dinner? At Nancy Grace, I think it was mentioned. You know,
She
I
did
have a
mention it.
yeah, I feel like that. Yeah.
Okay, Christine is saying she thinks it's going to be USMC.
I
And
think that too. After I watched it again, I could see, you know, the part of the M that looks kind of like a V, that middle part. I could almost see that, and I could. That was the one that I think is the closest.
Well, you know, we for a while there, what was it? The one we were thinking it was?
UAB,
Yeah, we
at
were
a
looking at
point.
University of Alabama
But it looked
football.
the
So-
curve. It looked like it'll be 4 letters. And anyway, so we'll
we were all over the place. We were throwing out all kinds of ideas to each
you know,
other.
why don't we do?
My last
the
one though,
other
I
video?
thought USMC.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I had to say, I would guess that's what it is at this point. But we'll see. Do you want to do the other video first before we get into the parking?
I'm just laughing at Hey Jude. I'm with you, Hey Jude. I don't know any of the hip lingo. I do not. That's so funny.
And Alicia, yes, you can email. She said, could she email you?
Sure, of course.
Okay,
But-
BHB knows this timeline well.
Oh,
She
good.
says around 11, KP allegedly picked up a cousin and took her to BJ's to meet with the mom aunt, from my understanding.
Yeah, that's my
I
understanding
think,
too.
I think you're right. I think that's how that was said.
And then
But
they said they
did
took
talk
they
about
took
it.
this they took the snacks home. They got snacks because
Yeah.
snacks, and then they took the snacks home, and then went to Strike and Spare, which we're very familiar with. We've been there a million zillion times.
Yes.
And then I don't know about between Strike and Spare and Texas Roadhouse. I don't know if they went home in between that or not. I'm not sure. So they went to BJ's with the cousins. Yeah, that's what Purple World say.
They're not real close to each. I mean, you could, for them, going home in between wouldn't be crazy.
It would make more sense for me because you know I try to do things along the way. It'd make more sense for them to go from Strike and Spare to
Yeah.
yeah.
There's, probably why they were like. But anyway,
Right. They
which-
didn't bowl. They played video games, but they have a ton of video games. It's probably got the best video games in the area is Strike and Spare.
I think we should do the video first, ours, and then do this.
Oh, you guys want to see what we did today?
We
now,
did.
It's not very exciting. It's only
not
like
very
50 seconds. So
But we realized that we needed to give a little more context on the parking lot, maybe, to understand where things were
Whoops.
located. So
I'm
we
trying to
went over
pause
there
it. Hold on.
today
I gotta pause it. Let me take that down.
because some of the things play in because we wanted to understand where things were. And actually, I did misunderstand some of the layout.
Me too. That's funny. We didn't even talk about that.
So we're coming up on the angle that you saw from. Am I right?
Yeah, this is the angle.
This is the angle where she was
like
parked, right?
were they in the second parking special or the special needs parking, the special handicap parking? Were they in that second one over?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We
that's
also,
It's all handicap parking there.
I think there was one on the other side with the same handicap sign.
okay. So
And it
when you
and
get
it had a
around
different
here,
map. Yes.
okay, so everybody see this door here? Okay, sorry. I was gonna try
Yeah.
to make it bigger, but that didn't work out.
Well, that's okay. That's the
And is
to-go.
that brown door the to-go door?
That's
you
the
go get
to-go
your-
door where you see the yellow raincoat guy or the
Okay.
yellow coat guy.
And the reason I wanted to mention this is that if you go out right from that door, that's where all the to-go parking is. So that guy that had the
Oh, does that not show? It might show it at the very beginning. Well, there's
Yeah.
the
to-go parking is
Okay,
over
hold
here.
yeah, and then
Okay.
over to the right of it is a dumpster, kind of like a hidden dumpster.
Yeah. So he
Okay.
either to have these employees going back and forth makes a lot of sense because this is where the to-go parking and the dumpster is located. And he had on those surgical gloves. So I would bet anything he was going back there either delivering food or taking trash to the dumpster.
Well, and that also eliminates that the Green Hoodie Guy was an Uber or a driver or something like that, because if he was picking up food, he would have went toward the brown door and not in the main door, and you saw him go in the main door.
Right.
Right.
And so we were also looking to see where the cameras were. And I actually am, we may have to go back over there because I did it vertically instead of horizontally, so it doesn't fill up the whole screen. I'm sorry. If you I don't know, you guys can't see my mouse, but if you look over to the right-hand corner of the roof there where the green meets the silver, you'll see where the camera is. I believe is the angle where we're getting
kind of up over the door to the right.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna let's see. Oh, they don't see us. Perfect. Okay. I was trying to make it as big as I could make it.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, you can.
I think
blow
it's
it up.
okay.
And then this looks like the spot where they were right here.
Yes. So this would be where Katie's car was located. She would have been on the left-hand side and Sebastian on the right.
And then that's the front door. And that's where we see the green hoodie go in. And many people are mentioning the men on the bench. There were some men on the bench over here. Let's see. And then I wanted to show this is just, the rest of it or whatever. But we just kind of did that this morning. We were going over in that area.
And, so back there, is that a Hampton Inn or Holiday Inn? I can't remember.
That's a Hampton, I think.
Yes, there's a Hampton Inn. And also to the left a little bit, there's a Jonathan's restaurant. So anyway, there's cameras all over the place. All those places would have cameras. So if the police were interested, investigators, if they find cars they're interested in, they've got it.
Yes. Everybody's asking if they were parked in the handicap parking. Yes, they were.
Yes.
And she has the tag. You can see it. So, and I mean, it is common for people with special needs children to get that. We actually have had to do that in the past because what happens with our son is he will jump out of the car quickly and just take off sometimes. And so there are cases where we've had to do that. So I understand it.
Yeah, we did it. We asked for that with our psychiatrist with him a couple of years ago because
we don't always use it, but sometimes he will just book it out of the car, and it's scary when it's very busy.
Right. I often. I'm sorry, Auntie. Go ahead.
I was going to say, with him being high functioning and just newly diagnosed, that I can't imagine that's why they would have gotten it.
But we don't know. I don't know how that chromosome deletion.
Yeah.
Well, he could have qualified it for that. Possibly.
It might make him weak or something. I have no idea on that kind of part of it. So there might be reasons they want to have him take short walks at times.
Well, anyway, so this is the other side where we're going now. What's wrong?
Well, I just want to highlight this because I agree with you. And this is okay. Tennessee Nurse said, I said I was going to keep my mouth shut tonight because my opinions are probably unpopular, but I need to see more for me to think anything happened at TRH. I also am at 80% certain Green Hoodie is vetted. I don't disagree with you. I bet that's not even that unpopular.
No, I don't think so.
I would suspect that at least the Sumner County has talked to all of these people. I would guess. Would you think?
I would hope so.
I would hope.
We encourage skepticism, healthy skepticism here. So, hopefully they did already vet all these people, but it's new information for us, so we want to look through it as well.
And if they are having trouble locating anyone, the thing is they're not all these people that yellow coat guy, all this, they Green Hoodie, they very well could be just innocent people that just happen to be there.
Yeah.
You're still interested in talking to them because they may have seen something unusual,
right?
Even if they're not part of some grand conspiracy or anything like that. They you want to talk to all the people that saw Sebastian on his last day of known whereabouts.
Exactly.
So that Green Hoodie very well could have been the second to last person to see him that we know of. So,
Yeah.
that's someone you want to talk to.
Betty says maybe the placards for something else, just a thought. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
true.
And TWY also said the same thing. And yeah, there's a lot of different things. Who knows?
And
Sure.
someone said that they thought it was only for people that could not walk. Now, you
No.
can get handicapped. Like my mother can walk, but she is in her 80s and has a difficult time. And she has qualified for many years just because she has a cane and she's mobile. So people
But
qualify for
sometimes
lots
she
of different reasons.
But sometimes she really does need that spot.
Oh, she does
Sometimes.
need it. Yes.
Yes. Let's see. And then Mrs. E, my nephew, has a CD and a disabled badge for when he has meltdowns for running in front of traffic. It's safer to be close to
Right.
the building for safety reasons. Yes, our child has actually run out of the airport when he saw a pigeon once.
I remember.
And ran in front of taxi cabs.
That is actually the reason we got it. So
Mhm.
I was going to say, I talked to the psychiatrist. I was like, look, when it's just me and him alone and I pull in a spot, he gets excited and he'll hop out of the car and like run 20 feet, 30
And
feet.
he's not
Because
self-aware.
he's got like this energy. He's got to get out. And I
Mhm.
can't get out to grab him before he's jumped in front of a car.
Mhm.
And I always think if my son ever has anything awful accident happen, it's going to be in a parking lot. And since
It's terrifying.
since the handicap spots are often near a sidewalk, it's just safer for him. So that's why we.
And if it's all of us, if we got multiple hands in the car, we don't
It's
necessarily
when
take
you're-
that spot. It's when you're alone.
When
that's
you're alone
scary.
with him and he just opens that door and you're like, hold on, wait for dad.
Wait. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do that.
So there's a lot of reasons that people do, get them. But so let's show the other
that
half.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell them what we're seeing?
So we're going to go back the other way and show what's behind Katie's car, because this is, it looks different than it appears on the security.
Right.
It looks like it's a big, huge parking lot, and it's not.
Okay. So this is the backside.
So like, where that black sedan was
Mhm.
that they talked about maybe blocking in? This is that area. So it's
Mhm.
just a parallel parking area.
But what I found interesting is that someone could easily park back here and cut through and get straight to the front door there.
They could have come from those stores
Mhm.
that way. Sure.
So I found that interesting.
Yeah.
If the person came on foot and not from a
I
vehicle.
can't think of what those are. That's not the Starbucks one.
There's an NY Pie.
Okay.
I can't remember what else over there,
Yeah,
but
there's-
I just thought that was sort of interesting.
It's 2 or 3.
And then
So-
basically, I told you it was short, but we were just kind of getting our bearings over there, kind of looking for cameras and such. So,
But with the dark video and you compare it to light, it gives you a better. It helped us to visualize what we were looking at better to do this. So we thought it might be useful. So we'll do this one more time just to kind
I
of.
just want to remind everybody, please don't mention other people in chat because we'll have to delete it. Other creators in chat, please, because we'll have to delete it.
And someone was asking if we knew how they could send information to FBI Dog or anyone besides TBI.
Well, all the flyers usually have the.
I think
it's on our community.
All the
It's on
at
our
night
community.
stuff has it. Yes.
They actually have all of the numbers on their posts. And if I think 3 posts down in our community tab, you'll have all that information is there.
We've put those up periodically. So anytime you're looking for that stuff, you can go to our community page and scroll through and find them. And that'll have FBI, TBI, whoever you think's appropriate, whichever group.
And do any of the mods have the email? I've had somebody asking for the email.
Yes. I think if I do this, it'll show it. Hold on.
Oh,
I don't have us on the
disabled
screen.
vet card. Okay.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm going to pull this down. So you guys get a general idea. Just thought that was sort of interesting. Sorry, I'm really behind in chat as usual. Let's see. Oh, we have over 500 likes. Do you want to take a pause here?
Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll do the
next
outside
one?
video. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Back by popular demand.
She also said she was going to bring a machete.
karate,
machete,
karate,
machete,
karate,
machete.
karate.
All right. And just
Oh,
for
man.
fun,
It's like watching The Godfather. It never gets old. Right.
just a little extra Seth for you. Awesome. Let's see. We were talking about this quote earlier too. Do you remember? I'm going to go ahead
About
and
what?
show it just because it's fun.
What is it?
Okay, everybody, turn your headsets down.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
He loves that.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
good. It's good. I think we're getting close to that stage.
He loves that so much.
I don't know. You just feel the energy. You feel Seth's optimism. Man, this whole week, there's been a lot. The CPS stuff, the videos. There's just a lot of activity, right? This week. I mean, it's just been a lot of.
There's just been a lot. It's
It just
kind of
feels
tired.
like there's a lot of energy around the case right now, and a lot happening. And I don't know. I just I long well. I mean, you make predictions. Who knows on predictions? But I had predicted a while back that by summer we'd be court reporters, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that prediction that we'll be covering a court case by summertime. I'm going to be optimistic on that. Yeah, that's Tombstone. That's Tombstone for sure.
Yeah, he loves that one. And we actually have expressed to Seth that we really need him to make a side-eye Seth shirt. So I told him he should trademark it.
Yeah. So yeah.
Did you
Alicia
put the email
says,
up?
I feel
I thought I did.
Grace
Did
is
it not
coming soon.
work?
Alicia,
No,
did
I
you
don't
get your
see it.
earlier? You had said you had a question. Did we get to your question, or did you
She
ask
said
it?
she's going to email you,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
but
We'll do
can
our
you
best.
put that up, please? There it
did.
is. There you go, guys, for those wanting the email.
Well, we might do Machete again in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So
Christine says, what's strange? It's all about KP. Where's CP going off the rails, coming to her defense? Instead, crickets.
that's
That
good.
is actually unusual for him. He has been a big defender for Katie. He seems, he's been very protective of her. Typically when she comes under fire, and we haven't heard from him. That is kind of interesting.
Oh, you know what? That was Kelly's first time seeing it. I think I'll have to play it right now again for her.
Oh, Machete?
Mm-hmm.
She also said she was going to bring a machete,
Karate,
machete,
karate,
machete,
karate,
machete.
karate.
I love that so much. The side-eye just kills me every time.
Yeah.
I just love it.
So let's
The next one?
yeah, let's do. So we're going to do the outdoor security.
I have to tell Lady Tit for Tat, every time I see her do boing, it makes me think that she's saying boring. And so I'm like, what's boring? Every time. And she does it, she's said it a few times and I keep going, boring? Why does she think it's boring? All right. I'm not that funny tonight. Clearly. Let's see. I'm sorry. Which one did you say?
Oh, the security outside.
Okay, hold on.
Go into the car.
I just don't know which one that is. Hold on.
It should be the last one.
Oh,
sent you.
it's this one. Okay. Hold on. Let me share this tab. I have to remove the.
I saw
other
that,
one.
Cindy Lou. We'll look at it after, if that's okay. But yeah, I got you. We'll check it out.
Let's see. Which one is it? Hold on. Oh, here we go. This is also attributed to At Night. It's Nick the Hat's channel.
And Clue Crew listening to us again.
I'm sorry?
I was
Yeah,
reading a question. I don't really understand the question.
It's about other creators anyway.
Yes, and we don't
Well-
really talk about them.
Oh wait, well, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this. So,
And Alicia sent you an email. She said if you would check, it was about the parking lot.
okay, sure. I don't know why it's not letting me share. I'm sorry. Give me a second, guys.
It's not showing it up at the bottom to.
I know it's weird. Let's see. Hold on.
Actually, so
I think
Seth
it's this one.
confirmed this in our chat maybe a week or two ago.
Okay, hold on.
He said whenever they first started it, he got it 6 years after they started the process. So I don't know when that was, but it was a 6-year process for them to get Social Security, right? Am I remembering that right? With Seth
Yeah,
said?
he said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let me take this off so we have the full screen.
Okay. And I'll have to mute us real quick.
So let's stop where everything's appropriate, I guess. What's kind of one thing that's kind of weird to me is this 18:23:48. So that's 6:23 at night, almost 6:24. You know, the video we saw, didn't it say 18:22?
Mm-hmm.
So we might have been seeing from a different camera.
Not sure. I think
I'm not sure. But
it was one of the first things you noticed, though.
yeah, because you're looking at the timestamps because we're trying to figure out the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
But this camera clock
different.
lines up with what's inside,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't line up with what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why, but that's
interesting.
I don't know which one's accurate. Probably this one since it's the same as the interior camera. But anyway, it's close enough to get a narrow down this timeline, which might which is super important.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. All right. Whoops. Here. There. Okay, you guys talk about what you saw, and I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, so you can see back there where like that white car is. That's all that parallel parking. Looks like they're pretty busy that night too, so I'm sure that was all full. And this, these people might be just employees, both the yellow jacket and the guy with the cap. I'm suspecting, because I think there's a lot of just kind of innocent bystander stuff going on in these shots in general. But of course, if you can talk to them, I'm sure detectives have tried to talk to them if they've been able to. If they're employees, I'm sure they were able to talk to them. They've probably talked to the whole staff early on, and even the green hoodie person, if they thought they were of any significance and they went inside, you saw what those cameras are like inside that restaurant. They know who that person is too, and I'm sure where if they ate there or anything, credit cards and all that, so all these people have very likely. I mean, this is high quality cameras. This stuff's in high definition. So I would imagine anybody here, if they're important, they've been identified and they know all about them. Watching that exchange again, or at least that encounter, it does kind of look like he's waving her in. Like, oh, you first, and she kind of like accepts and walks up there. It's so hard to tell, but it looks like maybe he backs away, like trying to let her, like he's backing up, trying to let her through.
Do you see something like white? Like, I don't know. It looked almost like a folder or a paper, but I didn't see anything in her hand prior. I don't know. Maybe the lighting during that exchange.
She does have her keys in her hand.
Yeah.
So it might be her keychain. I watched Mob Crew today, and they did a real close up examination, and if there was if there was an actual exchange, it's not caught on the camera for sure. I mean, it's so hard, it's back behind that car. I mean, anything's possible. I'm just not sure. How significant it is, if it's anything nefarious, and I also have a hard time thinking of what would it be, even what connection could it have? But of course, they're going to want to talk to this person.
Yeah, I don't think the yellow coat and the black hat guy, I think they're employees possibly, and they're by that employee door next to the to-go window.
I heard someone say that even those yellow jackets are common for the staff at Texas Roadhouse, but I've never eaten there, so I don't know.
The real me said she saw that too. I guess the hand thing that I saw. Maybe I need to watch Mob Crew again.
It might be even just her phone. A lot of people just kind of hold their phones when they're walking, and she had her hands in her pockets. Maybe she pulled the phone out. It's just, man, it's so hard to tell. As far as like the green hoodie person themselves, it does look like I thought it was a woman. I think it's a male at this point, especially when they're walking towards the door. That hair looks a lot shorter. And the hood's down too. And one of the shots we saw, it looked like the hood was up when they were in the car, because what we saw was kind of edited. So we definitely are getting a better look at this person than when we first saw it. So you guys are definitely getting a better version. Ours was harder to tell.
Yes.
Our shot was not as wide as this that we were getting. So there's more detail for sure with this. And I don't think that the yellow jacket guy or the surgical gloves guys have any nefarious interest. The car behind them, they talk about that black sedan. It pulls away before she leaves. We'll see that here in a little bit. I think it's already gone, right? Like it's already left the frame.
It's already gone. It came back by.
And I don't even know if that's a big problem, because it looks like
I thought the lady walked over and got in it.
Yeah, it just looks like somebody picking somebody up after work, or it doesn't, if they're there to follow, and maybe it just happens to be that when they pull out, that car happens to be the one behind Katie later. And maybe they're like, well, was this person there to follow her? Let's follow up on that, make sure. It's probably just due diligence, I think. You get that's why we've said before, our job as kind of commentators on this isn't really the same as investigators. Investigators have to pull at every single thread and make sure there's nothing there. If they can, they've probably gone through this frame and talked to every single person here they could identify, just to make sure they're okay. But that's not the same job we have. And we kind of look at it and think, is there something going on here? Or was it innocent? I do think it's a male. I didn't see anything. I don't know. I think I might lean toward a innocent situation. How do you feel on that?
I don't know. There's a moment too where everybody kind of looks over there like there's some kind of altercation. Something catches their attention. So it could be that the guy wouldn't go and she was, and there was some kind of interchange, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That people do look over there.
Sebastian looks kind of normal. He doesn't react really. So,
No.
maybe they were having a laugh, or something, I don't know. I mean, it's
hard to tell.
They might have better angles that we're not seeing.
I wanted to mention that Jen and Dawn, though, renewed their membership. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And I was also going to say that I could go on in the footage and it will get a little bit closer.
Yeah, and so also too, we're looking timeline wise. We're now at 6:25, so almost 6:26, and they live about 10 to 15 minutes away from here. So that puts them getting home probably in that 7:30 or 6:35 to 6:40 range, just depending on traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's supposedly taking the trash can out around 7 p.m. And so that, if that's true, that timeline lines up, right? I mean, that sounds about right. You'd get home 20 minutes later, you ask the kid to take the trash out.
I wanted to answer Jules' question real quick. It looks to me that person does work there. Just based on what we saw today with the trash chute being, there to the left off screen. So, well,
I always just thought that the tall, thin kid with the cap, he's just got 17-year-old busboy to go guy written all over him.
Absolutely, yeah.
That just looks like a teen job right there. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't work there. And even this yellow jacket guy, he walks out of the front of the restaurant and then talks to this guy. But maybe he was there to pick up a to-go order and went to the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that's even what it is.
And the police may have talked to these people, but someone suggested, I wish we could show black hat guy and yellow jacket guy this video and see if they can remember what they witnessed. Yeah, that would be nice.
Well, I mean, the good thing about the employees, he would have been very easy to track down in the first couple of days. I bet they've talked to every single server in that restaurant or cook and anybody.
I think they've actually been inundated because it sounds like that they've had to talk to people that have been bothering the employees about it.
Right. Just concerned citizens. And I bet every day they hear something about it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, being the bartender there, that it's probably talked about every day. I bet they've heard it over and over.
Okay, sorry, I'm way behind on check because I stepped away.
Granny said that Nick put out a notice that they talked to the guy with the gloves and he was an employee, innocent bystander.
Oh, did he? Oh, I missed that. I didn't see that one. Okay, well, good. Well, then that's kind of what we were guessing here anyway. Well, that's good to know. See, well, this would be a good mission. Sandy says the E family go to dinner every day until you find them. I'll pay for dinner. Now that's a stakeout we could get on board with, right? And
right.
I didn't even mean the pun. Boy, that would not be bad.
Well, because I still haven't gone. We've been talking about this for 9 months, and I still haven't gone.
I know.
Never been there. So, other than the parking lot. So,
Kimmy Lou asked, "Do we know what time the trash was taken out. He wasn't dressed in all black and didn't have a hoodie on like described in the trash video. Do we know what time the trash was taken out?
I feel like, and I don't have my timeline in front of me, but I feel like Seth has said around 7-ish.
Yeah, that it
So-
was. Yeah,
I
That would,
remember a time being mentioned, but I don't know the exact time. But it was in the 7 o'clock hour.
You cracked K-Mac.
I know it was totally unintentional. I just stumbled into that pun. This is so cheesy, but I did not mean to do that. Oh, we were going to click on the same thing, I believe.
No, go ahead.
Nini's Place said, did anyone happen to notice what the graphic was on Sebastian's t-shirt? And that was a Grogu, so Star Wars logo.
It looks like a Yoda. People call it Yoda, but it was a Grogu.
You may have, if you don't watch the Disney Plus stuff, it's Baby Yoda or Grogu. So they've mentioned that they think when he disappeared, he was wearing one of 3 types of long sleeve black tees, either Star Wars, Halloween, or what was the other, Spider-Man or something like that. Minecraft. I think it was Minecraft. Which was always, has been one of those weird things.
We may
K-Mac's
have to go
correcting
back
you.
to
Grogu has now been adopted. LOL.
We may have to go back to the other video and look at it again, because so many people are saying that they could see her pocket light up twice. That the part where her left pocket lights up twice.
Yeah, of everything in all of this, I think her inside the restaurant with the phones is the most interesting.
I do too.
Yeah, I'd
I
like to
feel
know
like
what
this might
activity
be
was
a whole
happening.
lot of nothing out here.
Hi, Gypsy.
I think the most interesting thing is whatever she was doing on those phones, because the pictures, the way she was doing it, it just doesn't. It seems with purpose, but I don't know. That's what I would want to be looking at if I were the detectives here. I'd want to know what happened in the phones, in that moment.
Okay.
And people have also mentioned that she had an Apple Watch on, of course. So there's a lot of data and tracking that can go on with that.
It is odd that he would go home and change clothes to take out the trash. Most kids don't change clothes to go take out the trash.
Well, I mean, is it possible he went ahead and changed into his nighttime clothes to take the trash out?
So
At 7, probably not.
And why are you changing out of a short sleeve black shirt to put on a long sleeve black shirt to go to bed?
Yeah.
Is that normal for him?
Well, we don't know
Usually
how
he
they
dressed
might keep
like-
their house cool. I don't know.
I'm just wondering if that's normal.
I don't know. It is, to me, it seems a little odd.
And the reason it's odd is because they've always acted odd and cagey about the shirts.
Oh yeah, the shirt thing. The shirt thing was weird.
Okay.
Drives me
Aria
crazy.
thinks it may be a phone because she is not holding anything when she got up to leave.
She puts her hands in in the little jacket pockets when she leaves, right? So there might have been a phone in there.
And
Roller Girl says, my son is 14 and he doesn't like his picture taken. I wouldn't try to take pics of him when he's shoveling food in his mouth. It's just weird to me to snap a pic of him eating, all in my opinion.
And hey, Judy, it was a warm night. You're right. Unseasonably warm. I remember it really well.
Yep, it definitely was.
Because I love warm days in the winter. That's one of my favorite things.
And someone did mention their shoes both look very similar. They both had on like black shoes with white soles, and they did look a lot alike.
Yeah, so Tennessee Nurse is saying with GH's age, I would imagine either Ellie is advising to not respond or the man has no social media and has no clue he's all over it. Ignorance might be bliss for whoever Green. I know. I really do feel bad in so many ways for people to get caught up in this stuff. Yeah, that's why I like when they come out and clear people, like the guy with the gloves. That way he gets left alone, the thing with that park, it looks to me like somebody's illegally parked in the handicap over there. Where I don't think there were 3 spaces in a row, were there?
Mm-hmm.
That white car? There were?
Oh, wait. I'm not sure.
Oh, thank you, Moonflower, for becoming a new member with us. Thank you so much.
That's a great
like-
name. Moonflower and
Mhm.
Medicine Man.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that too. I would like to go forward in the video if you guys don't mind. Is that okay?
Sure.
Or,
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
okay. Let me pull that down. Let's see. Oh, I have to mute us. I forgot. Okay. That's the part I wanted to see.
Oh, are we back?
We are back.
So, I mean, I know people are saying USMC on the top. What do we think on the bottom? Has anyone heard a really good theory on what that is? And that's a male, right? That's a man, I think. Do you think?
Could it
I
be
think
like?
so.
I think it's a man, an
Yeah.
older, like I think probably 60s ish.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think so.
And I was gonna. Lisa says, if you look at the sign on the door when they open it, you can clearly see it says "Employees only beyond this point." Yes, that's the yellow door, but I
Yes.
don't believe that's the door that Green Hoodie enters.
Yeah,
No,
Green Hoodie
Peter's
goes in the
front
regular door.
Yeah, the front door. Mhm.
Yeah, I think this is an older man, like you guys are saying, like probably 60-ish or so. I know people are mentioning that Sebastian looks over,
Mhm.
but he doesn't like wave or anything like that. So it's hard to know if he's just like, hey, who's talking to my mom, or if he recognizes.
I'll try to go forward just a hair on it.
And Betty said it might be the seal, the U.S. Marine Corps seal underneath the.
Okay.
Could be, maybe.
Uh,
He does have little hands. Someone said his hands are small.
well, that's why I thought it was a woman when the little bit I saw. It was kind of like the clip didn't go this far when we saw
And
it.
Roller Girl says it's a very small town. I wouldn't call Hendersonville a small town. It's a pretty large. It's a small town, but it's a large small town.
See, I kind of feel like I see a 5 o'clock shadow up there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like a goatee or something.
Yeah, people have been saying goatee.
Oh, I didn't. That wasn't even what I was looking at. But yeah, right up there is on the jawline. It looks very.
Uh-huh. Darker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It could be the.
It could be a shadow. Could be something.
Could be the lighting.
Uh, and
It's so hard.
if
He
If
does
they
look
were
a little
handed-
unstable. That somebody said he looks unstable on his feet. He does look a little unstable.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like
I think
having-
it's
Yeah.
I think this part walking up is when people started to kind of guess the age because there's a little bit of a
Mm-hmm. The wave.
Oh,
That
right there's
wave-
the turn.
Well, okay.
Could it doesn't look like a shield underneath. It looks like another word.
Yeah. I think back when we were first looking at this, I was thinking it may have said football. But it's so hard. It's just
It
so
does
hard.
kind of look like an F. It's hard to see.
And where did he come from? Like, did he come from that parallel parking area or those stores back behind? Was he dropped off by that sedan? We don't think that, do we? The black sedan?
It's hard to tell.
We don't really know. We can't tell where he came from exactly.
The only thing that I was watching another channel last night was Brittany's, and they were talking about how these cars are like identical. That was the only interesting. That was one interesting thing that
They are similar.
It's the wheels are very unusual. So,
Yeah, somebody says here, ooh la la goes, the wave is like, okay, I give up wave.
see, I kind of felt like it was like a courtesy wave, like thanks for letting me by, or I don't know if that's what it was. Or like see you later, just kind of like a,
See, people are saying he came out of the passenger side, and that's what we thought. But but that door, I don't think we ever see these doors open.
No,
we don't.
So
Not that we
if he had
know.
come out of that passenger side, it was a while back. I think he was coming from somewhere behind. I think, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe he had been standing there and you couldn't see him because of the standing at the back of the car. Who knows?
Just me is asking why there isn't footage of him inside the restaurant. There might be. It may not be released yet. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know why they released all this.
That's
Actually,
funny. Read it.
I'm guessing they did it. Well, they actually said, didn't they?
I don't know.
They said in their post they were doing it because of the still images that had been released, and they were doing it to correct the narrative that was being forged. That's what I was saying earlier. There's a little bit of an information war happening, and people are trying to control this narrative about all of it. One side is trying to discredit the other, basically. It's kind of going both ways a bit. But why more? There might be something really important inside the restaurant when this person goes in, or they may not have had time to process it.
I haven't, there could be a variety of reasons.
It might also be because this person might be cleared, and they might, like we were saying with the surgical glove guy, they may not want this guy getting harassed. They want to show us what happened, but they want to keep people safe and not bothered. Maybe. But it's, we don't know. We can't, can't predict. It's just guesswork, really. I mean, I'm glad we get to see all of this. I'm especially, more than anything, I'm glad to see Sebastian, because it just gives us a little more, I don't know, just gives us more of a feel for who he is.
But it also
even in a
tightens
small
up.
way.
It tightens up the time window. We know when they left.
Yep. We know she didn't walk him to somebody else's car. We know nobody else got in the car with her. She might have driven somewhere else and something happened.
But not here. I just
I know
wanted to point out to Rita real quick. Navy is one of the things I came up with at one point too, but apparently I was not right. So
That first one's
Why?
a U for sure.
I know, but sometimes when you look at it, the different angles, it does have an in sort of.
Yeah, I think I
Well,
can see that.
I think, we all kind of What about a? Well, I mean, I know we're all kind of thinking Navy just because there's some family ties to the Navy.
But there was
But
one, I don't remember.
could it be a ship like USS something?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Do they make those kind?
Yeah, the hands are small, but I mean, I've seen men with small hands before. I've seen women with big hands.
And of course, people wear hoodies that they're not really affiliated with.
Right.
So even if it's Navy or Marines or whatever, it doesn't necessarily. People wear stuff that they have no actual connection to all the time, schools and everything. So
And Michelle, I did notice how he kind of looked at the guy and went way around the car. She said, watch as they come out. Sebastian, as he sees whoever it is, he goes way out of the way to get to the other side of the car. He does kind of, but I don't know. The whole thing.
What, back here?
who Ginger Girl, who is described as a hostile witness?
What
I may
does
not
it
know the
mean to be
context.
a hostile witness?
I may not know the story you're referring to. I think the more I've looked at this, the more I feel like this person's just kind of doing one of those waves like, hey, I'm sorry I got in your way.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Like sorry to bother you kind of deals, like an apologetic wave. That's kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah, kind of like he's like, sorry. I mean, you're like how you go down an aisle and you're trying to get out of somebody's way and they go the same way as you. And then you go back the same way and then you go back again. It's kind of like that. It looks like some kind of exchange in that way. And he was just trying to get out of her way.
Sorry to bother you, whatever,
Yeah.
sorry I bumped into you. Sorry about the trouble,
Right.
Heck, maybe he dinged her door and was telling her about it. And she's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It could have been anything,
That's what
there's all kinds of things that could have happened in there.
It's always struck me that last wave seems kind of like a courtesy wave. Like, how when I did it today when we were walking and somebody was pushing a cart and they stopped for us. And I did kind of a wave like that. So
I don't know. I mean, I know we're all looking for things.
I don't think there's a lot of answers here for us. But I think it just shows us, kind of what that interaction was at night, what they did for dinner, how they got home.
And honestly, guys, with the up close stuff, it's so difficult for me to see. You can't rely on me for that.
And I've always believed he made it home. I still believe that. I think he made it home.
Yeah.
And nothing I see here makes me feel different than that. Because I know there's always been the theories of maybe there was a switch of cars or, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to lean toward this I'm putting money more on it being an innocent altercation. Maybe they even knew each other, whatever, but nothing tied to the disappearance directly. Although I'm sure they're going to try to talk to them just so they can, if they haven't already, just see if they saw anything or noticed anything weird.
And Hope in the Shadow says a hostile witness is a witness who testifies against the party who has called them to testify. The examiner may ask a hostile witness leading questions as in cross-examination. Well, we kind of knew that, but we didn't really understand why she was asking that.
I didn't know where this was.
Could it be in reference to the new person suing Seth?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because,
somebody asked earlier if we were going to discuss that.
I mean, all I saw that on the website, I couldn't get the documents for that one for some reason. I'm not sure if there's a different place. I'm not looking in the right spot, but all I could see was that it was happening and where it was filed. There was really nothing else.
Yeah, this is true. Southern, let's see, where was it? Opinionated said, Southerners do greet everyone they pass. That is true.
That is true.
Us waving, we do a lot of waving if you're not from this area. So yeah.
And I do the courtesy wave a lot. I'm always courtesy waving. So yeah.
And it's like, it's slowed down to such a degree, it's hard to discern what's happening.
Oh, I've slowed it down. Sorry. That's me. I was
Yeah, I mean, I
putting it
know.
down.
I mean, there-
But you can see he does look over. He does watch what's going on as he's walking to the car.
yeah, yeah, he does.
And it's got his attention.
But like, if it's someone he knows well, you'd think he'd be waving or coming over to talk. He wouldn't just go stand and wait to get in the car.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would think, but I don't know. It could be somebody he doesn't know that well.
I feel
or
like that
that only Katie knows. Maybe.
the car behind, it looks as if maybe that lady was getting
That's
in
what
there.
I think.
Yeah, I think she did.
And yeah, this is not this door over here. The yellow one is not where Green Hoodie goes in. Green Hoodie goes in the main door.
Yeah, the one on the side.
Yeah, it's clear that the yellow jacket and gloves guy are, maybe he's doing a to-go order or something.
Find Summer's Truth said, is it true the car went behind KP's vehicle as they drove away? That's not shown in any of the video we have, so I can't.
Yeah, it's shown. It's shown in this one. You see a car go by behind them.
I see a car pull into the spot they were in.
No, I think they're talking about the car after she pulls out and the car comes back. The car
is that towards the end?
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Did I miss that?
Well, I might not have seen that. So
I don't know if it's the same car or not, though. But it's toward the end of the video, right when she pulls out.
I thought we see them pull out. Why am I not seeing that?
Well, I guess
I'm trying to get there. Hold on.
It's right.
Oh, right there.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if anybody follows. I might have missed it.
Oops, sorry.
Unless they stop it.
Okay, so the car.
Just watch.
Okay.
They pull into the spot.
Okay, it's after this.
Maybe there's another car. Is that what you're saying? Maybe. Well,
that was fast forwarded though.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm talking about.
That's fast forwarded, and the car is going the other direction.
Yeah.
No, that
one comes.
That's the one I was talking about.
And that's at the 18:25:58 mark.
Yeah, that's a little. They'd already left at that point.
Well, yes, they had pulled out, but it was a few seconds after.
Huh. I just want to know why Yellow Guy is there so long.
I'm just kidding.
I want to know why he's got a mask on outside.
So that car went.
I mean, it's a lot. He's out there the whole time with the mask on outside,
and then leaves with nothing.
Well, so maybe that car did follow. I mean, that's the exit, so maybe it could be innocent. But of course, like I said, they're looking at every possible. They got to rule everything out.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says it looks like an argument. I don't think he was waving at Sebastian. He had his thrown up like he wasn't happy when he walked off.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know. I
think that's possible too.
Okay, maybe some kind of little brief argument, parking lot rage kind of deal or something. Yeah, maybe.
If he was an Uber driver, he wouldn't be going in to pick up somebody.
No.
If the guy outside was an Uber driver in the yellow coat, which I don't think he was, I think he was an employee. But we don't know for sure. But still, why would you be standing around outside with the mask on? Take your mask off to get in the car with somebody. Fresh air. Somebody said maybe she wasn't respecting personal space.
Yeah. So I know it could be.
It's so hard to tell the context.
I think there's a lot of things. Somebody's saying Uber Eats, but they would have been going to that yellow door. So, it's instead of the front door, unless it's their first day. So
yeah. So this is. I mean, unless they release more video, this is the kind of thing where you have to rely on the assumption that detectives have located this person months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, didn't Nick Barris say something like that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he did a post about this today.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
I did not know that. Do you want me
forgot
to
about-
see if I can find it?
Sure. But he talked to
Yeah.
Sumner today.
I agree with Roller Girl. You wouldn't go to an employee door to pick up food, though. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
You
I
would
got
go to
you.
the to-go window.
Yeah, but that door said clearly for employees only, unless we didn't see them bring food out of there.
No, I thought there was a window there for the to-go
Mm.
orders.
I don't think so.
I
So
thought from your video, I thought you said it was a to-go order door.
No, that was the door. That's the door, the yellow door that we saw
Oh.
Yellow Jacket guy at. Oh,
And people
all
are
right.
saying
So,
that they thought maybe that he was mad that she was parked in a handicap spot.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
I mean,
You don't know. People get mad about all
So,
kinds of stuff
here,
these days.
I
here
know.
is I've got. We don't have to pull up the whole thing, but this is Nick Barrick's Facebook page.
Here, I'll
Um,
put us back on the screen.
So I'm just going to read the part where he talks about Green Hoodie. If you're not familiar, Nick Barris is a reporter in Nashville. He's been kind of the chosen mouthpiece reporter where they filter all their information. So, basically this is Sumner County saying it. He goes, what about the video that recently surfaced of Sebastian eating at Texas Roadhouse with his mom before he disappeared, and questions about someone in a green hoodie? So here's their response. Authorities have had that video since last February, vetted it, and I'm told it is not some new revelation and no special significance to the case. Those close to this case tell me if any private individuals had any new leads of substance, they would know about it. Okay. So, I mean, that's at least the law
Okay.
enforcement's position there. So they had identified, according to that, this person back in February, but that's okay. It's okay for at night to be doing this. They started their investigation 6 months late, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it never hurts to go back and talk to people that have already been talked to.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
People might remember things a year later, or weren't easy to locate the first time, or may have been scared before. They're not scared now. There's a
Right.
lot of reasons. Or one investigator may think what someone says is not significant, and another investigator might. So it's always okay to retrace your steps. And that's what a lot of investigators do when they're stuck on a case anyways. They'll go back and
Start
start all over and go back through those old leads.
Mm-hmm.
So that's okay. That's all part of it.
And Christine says there is a pickup window. So
Yeah.
Somebody said that's what DoorDash people wear. DoorDash, I know people that do DoorDash, they do not have uniforms and they don't have specific gear. DoorDash doesn't pay them to wear specific clothes. I know lots of people that do DoorDash and they don't have specific clothes. So I'm not sure. He could have been a DoorDasher, but do you all know DoorDashers that wear specific uniforms?
No.
I only did DoorDash during 2020. So and that was because somebody gave me a gift card. And I couldn't tell you. I didn't love it because all my food was cold.
Crystal Pistol said she is so DoorDash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because
And
my
somebody
stuff was
said-
cold, and I don't know. I didn't like it.
Let's see.
Well, there's a lot of wide opinions on
Yeah,
what
and-
they think of the video, and
that's
I don't
okay.
know.
That's okay, though. We all, that's how we figure these things out, is we all look at things from a different perspective. It is kind of fascinating to me, all the different answers, though.
Yeah,
Um,
I bet we're all leaning male. That seems
Oh,
pretty strong.
Well, there you go, Auntie.
I told you.
Oh, okay.
I know people that do it. No, they don't have. They don't have uniforms. They don't pay for that stuff.
Yeah, I don't see how they've.
I agree with.
Yeah, Tennessee Nurses at Night hasn't heard anything, and then Belinda says, "I was."
Sorry, which one did you want to read?
It doesn't matter. I was just gonna. Tennessee Nurse said outright hasn't heard anything. They have brought an army of resources and a whole lot of comfort for Seth. He needed support.
I agree.
This was something that happened after I think our last live. I just got so many comments about people being upset about us talking about this at night group at all, like angry with us or whatever. And it's like the more the merrier. Can we have too many investigators and people looking for Sebastian? And who turns away Dog the Bounty Hunter and
Right.
a team of investigators with resources?
Or just the negativity about it.
Yeah, I mean,
there's just a lot. It's remarkable to me.
Just the little peanut gallery with just constant criticism of anybody that wants to help is just weird. We don't have to pass a purity test to come look for Sebastian. Belinda says, I was glad the video came out. Just seeing Sebastian was great. It's my favorite part.
I agree.
And the video has been, to go back to the beginning tonight, it has helped definitely for traction.
My stars, yes.
Dog put that thing out. And what's great about his post, I was going to pull it up and look. What's great about his post is it's cryptic a little bit. It doesn't really say anything. So let's see.
It was at
6.3 million now. So it's another 200,000 views
since we started this live stream.
Since we started the live, and who knows what it'll do overnight. And that's millions of people now that have seen this. And it's got almost 1,000 reposts and
just think of how many more people have seen his face now because of At Night and because of Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah. And more people getting invested in the case.
Yeah.
And hi, CJ. Welcome in.
And there was
TWY said someone posted a picture that was supposed to be them at Texas Roadhouse and KP's hair was down. I believe that was from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was an old picture.
Oh, years?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was an old
years
picture.
ago.
It was older.
I thought it was just like a few weeks.
Maybe it was.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it wasn't that night. I know that.
I thought it was older. That was to you. I don't know if you wanted to read that one.
Oh, sorry. I put something down.
I didn't know what that meant.
Mrs. E, the boy in black, I think, is the one seated then. Look at pics.
The boy in the black is the one seated. Seated.
I don't know.
On the bench, possibly? Was he one of the people sitting on the bench? Is that what she's talking about? Because he's the one with the black hat. I don't know. I don't know what she's specifically talking about.
On the bench.
Out in the front of Texas Roadhouse?
Yeah, I'm backing it up just so I could see it.
But what I don't understand, I guess, law enforcement they've got a strategy. I don't know what their strategy is. I'm sure they have a reason for things. I just don't understand not occasionally dropping something like this.
They've had this all this time, and it took At Night to release it to the public just to get.
What? Yeah. Why didn't they just show a little clip of Sebastian walking out the front door? 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or that doesn't hurt the integrity of the investigation, or where it takes these outsiders to get 6 million people to view. And I just think they may be doing great work, but the public engagement is where they've faltered, and that's why they get so much criticism, is the lack of communication. Not talking to Seth since April. I'm glad they're doing well now, but that should never have been that way, that they had not met with him since spring.
I know, it's ridiculous.
That is really I hope they've learned from that. Carmelita says, I like At Night. First, the reward is getting bigger. I do think they know a lot more than they are letting out.
I agree.
I'm sure they are. And maybe that reward is part of why that thing went viral. You see a video, $250,000 reward, and people are like, what is this? Or 225,000. If it 50,000,
another good point,
doesn't get as much attention. Opinionated says, I'm glad they put this out because it helps to see Sebastian and humanize him more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. I also agree with Ty Baylux.
Now
And-
I
I
agree.
get
It
DoorDash.
says that.
I get DoorDash when I'm at my son's, and my food always gets there. It's hot and it's good. So I've had different experiences. When I'm house sitting for him, I always do DoorDash.
And CJ says exactly, makes no sense when we were looking for a missing child. I think the more the merrier.
Absolutely.
And Granny says the negativity and hate gets so disheartening. I agree 100%. And I believe, if I remember correctly, Granny has a channel, and it's not
Is that
that
right?
it's a different Granny. We've got a lot of grannies in our life. We've got Gran E, which is our mom,
Yeah.
and your mother-in-law, and then other ones. But this is her. It looks like she's the
can't quite
real
make-
Granny.
Okay.
So
Do you do
The
true
real-
crime, Granny, or other topics?
the real Granny's Crime Busters,
Okay.
I think is what it says.
Cool.
But welcome in.
Well, I will check it out. I didn't know you had a channel, but I see in chats in various shows occasionally. Tennessee, thank you so much. Tennessee Nurse says, see how we all have different opinions, but still get along. Very demure, very mindful.
I think
True.
that's okay.
Yeah. I don't have a real strong opinion on these videos at this point.
Yeah,
myself.
I think we will know more in the future. Either way. And so
Oh, I figured that Alicia figured it out.
what?
The gloves guy seated KP and Sebastian is what she thinks she means.
With the guy all in black. That's what she was talking about when they said that to you.
Okay.
And I agree with Chit Chat. I'm happy that it came out because we can really see what he looks like. Like, really, I think it brings a lot of good context, because when you see the motion like that, some people might not have been able to recognize him out, with just based on those pictures, but seeing him moving, the movement and the mannerisms, it really helps.
Yeah. Because the pictures, like we've all said, some look so young, some, and so to know what he really was looking like the night he disappeared it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, TN Nurse.
Yes, thank you. And
Not so kind and mindful. You didn't thank TN Nurse.
I think I did.
I'm just joking. I'm just giving him a hard time. You guys, that's our relationship. I give him a hard time. And he tries to annoy me. It's a thing.
Okay, so Granny here is saying she covers Sebastian every night.
Oh, well, awesome.
Okay, so great. So if you're looking for another channel there, follow her for more Sebastian.
She's not the granny that's on with Brittany, is she?
No.
No, you're thinking of
no. You're thinking
Nana's
of Nana.
Dragonfly.
Nana. I'm thinking
Yeah,
of
you're thinking of
Nana.
Yeah.
Nana's
All
a
these
sweetheart.
grandma names.
All right. I think we are you thinking we are getting
Yeah.
close to the end here,
Yeah,
my
I think
friend?
so. And
I have a lot of
So-
people with a lot of great comments tonight.
so I think I don't know what's happening next. Maybe things cool off a bit. Maybe they crank back up. I have felt like I think I said this last time. I have felt like what At Night was doing was just like the medieval device where you have the rack and you put the person on it, you chain them up and you crank, and every day you make it harder and harder,
Mm-hmm.
and until somebody's ready to talk. And I think that's what they're doing. I think that's why they drop these little bits.
Mm-hmm.
Drop CPS reports one day. You drop video. The story of the video another day, then actual video another. Who knows what's coming next? But I think it's going to get harder and harder for people. I did have kind of a thought, but I might save that for next time since we're kind of toward the end.
Oh.
Just a theory.
You can go for it. It doesn't matter.
Something I was
No,
trying to
I wanted
consider.
I put CJ's up after you read Lady Tip for
Oh,
Tat.
Well, let me read it real quick. Well, I think the video kind of put the day in perspective. It was made to sound like he was having an amazing time, all laughs and smiles. It just looked like a regular night out. I agree with you on that. And
Yeah.
also, Girl Mom kind of made me laugh. And he was better behaved than even myself at a restaurant, and I'm in my 30s. So that was pretty. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would like to know what that exchange was where he shook his head. Something he obviously didn't want to do or was not agreeing with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to guess those restaurants don't have audio, right? Probably not.
I doubt it.
Maybe. I doubt it. They might. I don't know. Who knew they had cameras like that on the tables, like super high quality. You know, I didn't know it was like that. Did you?
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you want to read that.
Let's see. CJ says, I think the October 2nd essay caught from Hendersonville was part of an investigation into trafficking abduction brought on by the Sebastian case. Just my opinion.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
You mean that guy that had the ton of charges against him that I can't remember his name.
No.
Is that who you mean? That happened like right around the same time that the motel was raided?
But that was in October, honey.
Okay.
We're like I said, he's not great with these timelines.
Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
No, it was
The
a
one
month ago.
the one he's thinking about.
Oh, well, this one was about a month ago.
We share a brain, and the one he's
So
thinking
October
about
2nd. I'm not sure which one that
is
is.
the one he's thinking
You'll
about.
have
It
to
was
check. You'll have to
was a
research
real
it.
disgusting thing, and we had some people reach out to us about that specific one. I don't want to get into it because I just don't. I'm not.
Oh, this one you mean? October 2nd?
No. I don't think it's the same one.
Okay. Do you know what this one is?
No. Let's find
Okay.
out from CJ.
We'll have to find out. Okay, he says it might have been November.
I'm sorry. Tea and nurse.
What about the special guest who has agreed twice to come on?
T and nurse has been working on that special guest for us, so thank you so much.
Right.
I'm not even sure how to reach out to that special guest. Maybe I'll message that person and we'll get that going. But thank you so much. I know you had a lot to do with that.
Yes, and I think that might happen.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. You would love for that to happen.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Dawn,
and thank you.
Grimes gifted 1 membership.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn. That cracks me up. I'm sorry. Go ahead and go forward with your theory.
I'll do it next time because it'll open up a whole new
another one.
conversation.
That I thought was a good point. Girl's mom said, and they would have released that video if it wasn't an investigation. Think of Riley Strain. They released as many videos of him
They
as
did.
they could.
Right.
That's a good they were releasing them like crazy.
That's
So I
a
thought that was
great
good
point.
Mhm.
That's a
You
great
could
point.
track his whole walk all the way down.
Yes, that was
That's how
crazy.
much they put out.
Okay, we've got 805 in chat and we've got 685 likes. If we can get 15 more likes, I'll play Machete one more time.
But there could be something in some of these videos that was of value that we don't know about, that we haven't seen. Something else because
Right. I mean, I'm sure we're seeing a fraction of what they have. So there might be, more information.
we have been told in the past that At Night shares appropriate things with the appropriate agencies. They pass it to the FBI or TBI or Sumner or all of them, depending on what it is. And so, I think they try to work with the agencies and all that. So there may be some communication there where they chose what to put out and what not, to not compromise something. I'm sure they're cautious about that. Don Grimes, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. And
you know what I think?
Don says, thank you for all you all do. I normally listen from the bushes.
Oh,
that I appreciate it. I know a lot of people do that.
Thank you, Don. You know what? I love your last name because it reminds me of Rick Grimes.
Of course.
I have to be honest.
Of course.
I'm sure Auntie loves it because she's a huge fan of that show.
Huge.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I haven't done Crime Dog video. Welcome to the Crime Dogs. If you were gifted a membership, please tell Don thank you. And Don, thank you so much. That's very sweet.
Yes.
We feel like that's just kind of like an attaboy. We appreciate it. Kind of a pat on the back that most adults don't get.
Yes, CJ, we're going to be checking out your live from today. A few people have been recommending it, so we're going to check that out later. And somebody in the chat was asking about CJ, who CJ was, and that's if you see that evil
Oh,
CJ Media.
I shared
Is
his
it about
link.
the helicopters? Somebody said it was about the helicopters.
What?
I don't
Well,
know.
we did. You might want to clear that up. We heard helicopters last night, and people were freaking out about helicopters. So Justin asked Mr. E to call in, so he did, and he's like, "Yeah, we hear the helicopters."
Well, we were on the back porch listening to Justin's show last night, and he starts talking about helicopters. We're like, oh, well, we do hear helicopters out there somewhere. We couldn't see them, and so we.
Okay, so
he
that
was like-
might be what Sam's talking about.
Yeah. So then Justin goes, "Hey, Mr. E, can you call in?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." You
And
know,
he's like, "I hear helicopters."
I hear helicopters. Can you hear them on the phone? And we couldn't see anything. It was too far away.
People
But,
were like, "Get in the car!"
well, because we're out in this county. Anytime we're driving around or we see
Hear
sirens
sirens.
and stuff, we're always wondering,
We're like, "Where are they going?"
have they found him? Is somebody getting arrested? Every
Right.
time you see like 3 or 4 squad cars pulled up on something, we always think, man, is this something, So,
But yeah, it was kind of funny last night because it was more like a chat because we really didn't have a whole lot to say. We could just hear them.
yeah.
And people were in the chat just telling us to get in the car, and we're like, "Well, if we go for a drive, we'll call you back." And he was like, "You can jump on panel and live stream it."
Crystal said Mr. E did great narrating of the helicopter movements.
Well, it was so funny
That's
because it was louder than all of a sudden it went far away really quick. And then, it occurred to me, a lot of celebrities live in this county. So
Yeah.
it was probably a celebrity going to the honky tonks to play or something. Is
Who
my guess.
knows?
The time
Oh,
of night it
wow.
was.
Well, this is very sweet of you. Thank you, Hope in the Shadows,
It's
Gypsy Nelson.
Gypsy.
Thank you for being
You know
dedicated to
Gypsy.
the truth and not the BS.
Thank
yes, yes, we
you.
do.
Thank
That's very
you,
sweet of you.
Gypsy.
Appreciate it.
I have to remind him who he knows and who he doesn't know. Isn't that funny?
I yes, but no, I remember Gypsy.
Oh yeah. Hey Jude, since TBI has been active making big arrests last week. I just want to put that up.
They have. They have had a lot of big stuff going on. So TBI has not been just sitting on their hands this last few weeks. Locally, they have been doing a lot.
Oh, did CJ clear that up? I did a video today on the height and weight. Yes, we talked about that briefly.
Yeah,
That's
earlier.
interesting.
I think you dropped his show link and you were talking about
Mhm.
that earlier.
Autumn Light says, "Hope Christmas comes early for Sebastian."
We
I do
do
too.
And
This is.
Seth and all of his family. That would be
He-
wonderful.
I wonder. We don't need to know. Whatever he said with Sumner County. I wonder if they have a reason to think something or not. He seemed more positive.
Yeah,
Than he has been in a long time.
So I wonder if they told him they think there's a chance or something to kind of make him I don't know.
I wanted to say that.
It's possible, and that, man, would that be amazing? Raven says, "I personally do not doubt At Night or Nick. I apologize for my skepticism, as I am frustrated and especially impatient." Me too. For Sebastian to be safe amongst his family members.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think skepticism is okay.
We like having discussions.
I like healthy
and-
skepticism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were too. I had no idea who he was when he came in. I didn't know who they were.
That is who that he. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong on the timeline this time. It is who we're talking about.
Yeah. So that guy's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's bad news, and that happened right at the same time, and we thought maybe it was tied.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess you're saying
Mm-hmm.
you're wondering if there is a connection there.
I mean, that.
Yeah.
Ugh, I can't even. I can't even.
But boy, that guy.
We can't even talk about it. We'd have to go to Rumble to talk about it.
Right.
Speaking of which, we do have a Rumble channel that we've started.
We do. So if anybody's joining us on Rumble, welcome to the
Well,
the Mystery Crimecast here, but we
our-
are over there now. So if
well,
you
we're-
prefer Rumble, you can watch us that way.
Well, we are watching. Well, we're dual streaming right now with Rumble, but in the future, we had decided to do a Rumble channel because they are not so picky about what you say and how you say it.
Right.
So on more sensitive cases, we're going to do that in the future, is just do it directly on Rumble.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to censor ourselves and, and
Right.
I mean, not that it would be disgusting, or I don't mean it like that, but it would be where we wouldn't have to use like words like pew pew, things
I
like
just
that.
can't even do that one.
Oh, we got a super chat.
Aww.
The 5K says, thank you very much. Why wouldn't Ellie release GH Guy face just as a person of interest if they don't know who he was? They have it from a camera in the entry. Well, law enforcement might know. They might have already talked to him. And if they have and they've cleared him, then they may just not want people bothering him. That would be my thinking.
Well, I would think that at nights being careful not to, there's a possibility this person is an innocent person and they would not want to, or not, and they would not want to give that information out until it's completely, like, obviously the yellow jacket guy is probably of no interest, completely fine. Black hoodie, rubber gloves, fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this person, maybe they have not completed that process. So
thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. 5K.
That's the way I would think. I don't know.
Yeah. So CJ says, I have thought abduction traffic since our searches for May. The Seth tonight said he had renewed faith in Ellie now. Hasn't since April. Makes me think he knows he is alive.
Yeah, that's that is
Boy, I hope that's what happened.
I was reading between the lines a bit, and that's exactly the first thing I said.
Even if
I said he's alive, is what I said.
Yeah, because there's two versions of that interview. There's one that's more
hopeful,
intact, where they don't cut it up. That we saw last night. I don't know where that one is now. But you even get more hopeful vibes from Seth in that. Like I have not seen him, and so
I agree.
I hope that it was something like that.
I agree.
So let's.
Well, I wanted to thank. I feel like I kind of glossed over Gypsy too much. I felt like I wanted to give her.
Sure,
Gypsy, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Actually, we appreciate all of you. I just wanted to, I don't know. That was very generous, and we really appreciate it. That will buy a lot of coffee for us.
It does.
And keep us awake so that we can do these streams more often.
Yeah.
And does Mr. E have a cowboy hat?
No.
Well, Tennessee Nurse has requested that he wear one next time. So because of Yellowstone, she's got to watch her Yellowstone.
Okay.
Well, I've got bad news for you. We actually had this discussion just a couple of days ago.
We're going to talk about this?
Yeah, we are. He has an abnormally large head.
Yes.
So he can't wear hats.
I can't wear caps. I can't wear cowboy hats. I can't wear hats.
Go to the big hat store.
I went to,
remember Big Hat Heads is what it was called.
Yes.
I went to what was it, Lids or somebody?
Oh, I know.
To like get a fit.
Pitiful.
And they're like, sir, there's nothing we can do. What?
That cranium is
like,
super
they're
large.
like, they could fit anyone's head, and they're like, no, so you're just some,
We've got.
I don't know what you're gonna. You just can't. We can't help.
We've got nothing.
At Lids, they can't special order.
They have a bazillion hats.
We did. Remember when you used to want to wear hats?
Oh yeah.
We would order them, and she knows because she did it for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
Granny got one last year, and you were like, "It's not going to work," and she goes, "Yeah, it'll work."
Nope.
People try all the time. People send me hats all the time. I'm like, you're wasting your time.
Unless you know of a giant hat cowboy hat store, then we're going to be out of luck.
So like I can wear stocking hats.
Aw, GTO guy.
Thank you, GTO.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Oh, look at Dawn. Dawn became a member as well. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you so much, Dawn. It's very nice of you.
Awesome. I need to play the Crime Dogs video. I need to play one more Machete Karate.
Unfortunately, I was just going to try to catch
I don't know
someone's
why
joke.
Oh,
KJ Max says Mr. E has an official big brain, and unfortunately, it's just all skull. It's just all skull.
we are coffee care. Aw, we adore you too. We love you guys. I'm feeling like really I don't know, just kind of lingering on like that end of a phone call where you don't want to hang up and but you need
you don't really have a
to.
whole lot more to say.
I mean, I think
No kidding, Susan Smith. Now everybody downtown will
That
be in
is-
the cowboy boots and the cowboy hats, and
it is
Yeah.
kind of how you
No
spot the
local-
tourists.
Yeah.
well,
local
where was
cowboy.
it? Well, the kids had to dress like a Nashvilleian or something day, and I'm like, well, they were wanting to wear hats
Yeah.
and cowboy boots, and I said, that's not how Nashvilleians dress, not real ones.
No.
Only the ones visiting in the airport.
Unless you're an actual performer, then they wear it.
Sam's Pretty Paranormal is not convinced your head's so big because she said from this angle or this point of view, it doesn't.
I know.
look-
It's not like
The new members.
I look like I'm
contest.
going to topple over or anything. It's not like
He's
'cause
not a
people never believe
bobblehead.
it. People never believe it until I actually try to put on a cap, and it's just.
I'll tell you what, we will do it in the next members only. We could have a contest where
They-
we measure your head and people can guess.
Yeah.
And then we'll put a hat on it and you guys can laugh because it's really, really funny.
Yeah.
Tell me you wear cowboy boots. No, we don't. No.
No cowboy boots.
I thought there was a hat for
There's
You'd
No.
think.
no, there's not for me.
Not unless you go to the big hat store.
it is no joke because I thought about ordering because we have we have the merchandise thing and I thought about ordering him a hat. And I was like, there's no point.
Everybody always try. People have been trying for years.
I guess I'm going to get him a coffee mug. That's funny. All right, let me do our video.
See, nobody ever
Or
believes
is
it.
it an
They just have to
excuse?
see it for themselves.
Aw,
They just have to see it
CJ's
for
trying to take up for you. CJ's so sweet.
themselves. Just a bigger mental Rolodex.
Oh, somebody said you
Um,
need to open up a store and name it Mr. E Gentle Giant Cowboy Hats.
There's got to be there's got to be a few other people like me out there that just have no luck with this. Maybe that's the market we could tap into.
The extra large.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been turned away from lids? Did they tell you they can't even special order anything for you? They
Do your
the guy
Christmas
literally said,
presents never
"Sir, there's
fit?"
nothing we can do for you. You can't order something from overseas or anything. Nothing. It doesn't exist." Okay, thanks.
Oh, my stars, you're making me laugh. Okay. So thank you to everybody. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to welcome our crime dogs. Welcome, crime dogs. I'm gonna schedule a trivia this week. Get our date in because we got all these Christmas parties and things coming up. And welcome, crime dogs. Oops, I left CJ up there. Hold on, I'll do it again. Welcome to all of our new crime dogs, and thank you for all the gifted memberships. Let me do it again. It's only 10 seconds. We can do it twice.
Sure.
And then also, this is a big thank you to all of our super chats and gifted memberships and super stickers. We appreciate you guys so much. And I promised if we hit 700 and we're at 728 that I would do this one more time. So enjoy.
She also said she was going to bring a machete.
Karate,
Machete.
karate,
Machete.
karate,
Machete.
karate.
Every time. It cheers me up
know.
every time.
I know. It's one of those things.
Well, Linda says she
You
works
can't see it
for a
enough.
sporting goods store and she's going to check on this big hat deal.
I mean, there's no point. There's no point. I mean, years I've been going through this, decades.
I've tried. We've been married a long time and I've tried. I really legitimately had to go. I think that place went out of business. No joke. The big hat heads.
They did.
Yeah.
But,
Because
and
there's not that many people that need them.
even that wasn't like a great fit. Yeah, it was just kind of it was okay.
It was just okay.
It wasn't perfect. It wasn't great. Yeah, but I mean, at least I could wear a cap.
Aw, Raven says you are excellent people. Well, we think you're excellent too.
You.
And I think we are gonna wrap it up.
Yes. Well, y'all are great. Thank you so much for being here.
Real me too. I was in the room when the side eye happened.
Oh, you were. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The-
Were you dying laughing when you saw that? Did it?
Aw. Aria says you look awesome with your hair up, Mrs. E. Hang
Aw,
on.
thank you. Thank you. I
Aw.
appreciate that. That's very sweet. I don't have my glasses on tonight either. I go back and forth. I have a love-hate with the relationship with my glasses. Love
Oh,
your children.
Cindy Lou, I'll respond back to you after I have a good chance to read it and everything. I'll respond back
this
to
is
you.
a good one.
Crystal, thank you.
Crystal, that's so funny.
There's our gas money for our.
There you go.
That's hilarious.
I'm telling you, it was so funny because we were just like, should we go?
I know, because I mean, people.
Helicopters everywhere. It was like Goodfellas. Do you remember Goodfellas where he sees the helicopter all day?
Oh yeah.
I was making pasta. What is the line?
That's hilarious.
I was stirring pasta. I had it. My brother stirring pasta and looking for helicopters all day. Do you remember that? Do you remember that line from Goodfellas?
Yes.
That's a good book, right?
Yeah, it's a good book. Yeah. So
Thank you, Crystal. That's really super sweet of you.
yeah, thank you. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back sometime this week, I'm sure. No specific date at this point, I don't think, but we'll.
I
when we
mean,
can.
every time we
And you
start to
gotta-
do
I
anything
mean,
else.
We always, it depends on what kind of news breaks. Anything huge, we're going to want to talk about it.
Mhm.
And you just never know with this case. It's just something all the time. You keep thinking it's cooling off, and then look at the last week.
And can
There's
we
so much.
see what they are, if they are interested in? I really want to. I want to see your interest level real quick before we hang up. Before we get
Hang
stop
up?
this- before we hang up. No, you hang up. Before we I've already started working on it. In a few weeks, or maybe this week, Megan Boswell, the trial is gonna they're gonna start looking for a jury. And I've been really researching this, and I want to see your interest level if you guys would like us to start covering it. I'm really interested in it, and it's another Tennessee case.
Not as close, but yeah. It's got a lot of good video to watch. It's
Yes.
interesting.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff to go over, and I
Yeah.
was wondering if this would be of interest to you guys. If it would be, if you could put a 1 in chat, that would really be great. Jen and Don that says, I like your glasses, Mrs. E. Well, I have a love-hate relationship with them because what are those called? What are they called? Aunt E?
Readers.
No, they're not readers. They're they're progressives. That's what it
Progressive.
is. Oh, so a 1 in. Oh, great. I'm really fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by the interviews. It's just something that
It's a very interesting case.
it really, really is. Oh,
Yeah,
hi,
it's-
Busby. Thank you.
It is. There's a lot to discuss with it, and it'll be interesting to show.
There's some parallels and some different stuff with different things.
There are. It will remind you of this case at times.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to start, I think the actual trial starts in late January or early February. And it's about 4 hours from here, but it's kind of a fascinating case. And so we'll do that. Maybe we could do like a 50-50, talk a little about Sebastian and then talk about that case.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do that in the future. Oh, right. Real Me Too says Evelyn needs justice. It's been years. Exactly. I think it happened in 2020.
I can't believe it's been that long.
Basically, Evelyn was missing for months before her mother reported her missing. So that's where it starts. I think she was missing And Real Me Too can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe she was missing at least in December, and she didn't get reported until February.
Yeah,
Something
it
like
was
that.
a few months. Yeah, it's a terrible.
18-month-old. So
Yeah,
it's a
Real Me
terrible
Too,
story.
It's been almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we could do that, and there's a lot to. It'll be interesting to see how that all goes.
Mm-hmm.
We can
And,
do
you
a
know-
recap of the story for those who don't know it, and then keep up with what's going on.
Well, I definitely want to see justice for that little girl.
Yeah, no doubt.
And also find Summer's truth. Just so you know, Mr. E has been keeping me from Summer's case because he knows it's going to break my heart. So that might be one that we also maybe talk about on Rumble as well. There's a lot. There's just a lot. But anyway, let's wrap it up for tonight, guys. Oh, I know. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
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 Bad.
And I actually considered going, but I'm not sure I can handle the descriptions. Kind of, you know, I don't know if you guys realize this, but the Real Me Too was in Quentin Simon's trial the whole time. She was there.
Right.
And I don't know that I have the stomach to do that. I don't know that, you know, it's one thing to go sit and watch, you know, civil court proceedings. It's a whole other to sit there and realize the terrible things that these kids have been through.
Yeah, Megan is diabolical.
That's a great phrase.
And that's kind of what's
fascinating.
interesting about it is how she tried to manipulate and
the lies.
It's her. It's the interviews. It's the video of her that'll make it so interesting because she diabolical is the right word.
What part of Tennessee was she from?
It's in East Tennessee.
Is it Kingsport?
Was it Kingsport or Kingston?
I think it's
East Tennessee, but I can't remember the town.
I have it in my notes. Kingston sounds right for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Busby says Kingsport.
Kingsport.
So isn't that also Summer?
Maybe. But Kingston is right before you get to Knoxville. I know where Kingston is. It's also
this one's closer to Bristol. This is close to Bristol.
It's probably Kingsport.
Because I actually looked for hotels up there because I was thinking that I might actually go.
Somebody said it's near the Wellses.
Kingston Springs.
And that little baby's just adorable. You pull up the articles that Megan.
Here, I've got her picture right here. Let me just show her real quick. I've got her pictures. I've got them already saved.
Just perfect child.
Oh, she's just beautiful. Let me see.
Sammy said, "You guys are on late."
Oh, I know. We need to get
keep hanging around. I don't know why.
Real Me Too said she's ready to go with you if you want to go.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you have a partner to do it.
Well, but back to the problem of is I get pretty emotional and I get very I don't know, I can't even get through a stream sometimes without crying. So
well, it'll just be a certain part of the trial. They won't do that the whole.
Yeah, I'm very interested in it. One of our older mods had mentioned it to me and I didn't even know anything about it. And I just let me see if I can find it real quick. Where did I know I have it. Where is it?
Yeah, she was a very precious child. Cute as a button.
I mean, you just can't imagine how you could do that.
This is the one that gets me. Okay, here we go. I'll pull it up. I mean, this is the one.
Real Me Too said she would be your shoulder to cry on.
Yeah. I'm not so pleasant if you have to be around me 24/7 though.
Believe her.
Yes. So a lot of people are familiar with the Megan Boswell to a certain extent. So maybe we could kind of revisit and
just kind of go over the case details. Yeah.
Yeah, because people might be interested in hearing it. And it's one that you've been
look at this baby.
Fascinated.
No, look at this baby.
No.
Look at this baby, y'all. Hold on. Look at this baby.
Those big blue eyes.
I haven't seen that picture.
Just perfect little child.
There's some that really when she's a little bit older, she's so cute.
Yeah.
I just love that one. I don't know
Mhm.
why. It sticks with me. That's
Yeah.
the one
I
that
know why. I know why.
reminds me of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Big blue eyes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. She's beautiful. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Busby says bring plenty of tissues and bail money. Ha ha ha. But anyway, I'm gonna take this off of here because it's
Yeah.
starting to make me sad.
December is jury selection. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
So I think that we're gonna go over this because it really is. I want to see justice for this sweet child. I really do.
yeah. I mean, you know,
I've really kind of dug into it, and it's been haunting me. So,
Yeah.
Well, and I like the stuff that you've showed me on the interviews and her responses and things
Oh.
are very similar to other cases that we've talked about.
well, she has. Let me see. She has. I have it over here. I've been saving some stuff on this in particular. Oh, what did I do with it? I believe she has 12 counts of false reporting to the police.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Because she kept trying to give different stories and everything.
And I mean, she went so far as to telling the TBI if they didn't go get her baby tonight, that she was going to go get it. And she knew where it was, and TBI wouldn't do it.
I mean, it's crazy the stuff she did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Her videos were wild.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
they were.
exactly right.
But there would be a good, what I think would be interesting with that case is it would be a good lesson and study on people deceiving, because we know, I mean, she hasn't been convicted, of course, but we know the truth of what happened
Right.
to a certain extent
Right.
to the child.
and
And
the-
so we can look at it in retrospect and go, well, we know that she was lying about this. What were her signs?
Right.
How was she trying to manipulate and massage the
Right.
public?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she really tries. And
Mhm.
it's some of it's spooky. I mean, some of it's just spooky the way she is.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be, if you haven't seen it all, we'll do it.
Yeah, let's
plan
do it.
We'll
Let's
do it
just
sometime
plan on
this
doing
week
it.
or whatever, and we'll work on it, and we'll
I've already started working on it because I know that
You've been talking about it for
already-
months.
we could do like an hour on that, and then do an hour on Sebastian, and
Yeah.
you know, do something like that.
Okay. Well, guys, I think that we're going to wrap it up now. I don't know why we went so late. We went over into our a lot of our friends are starting now or have been going, so we are going to wrap it up. But thank you guys so much. We appreciate you joining
We do.
us
We
tonight.
do not take it for granted at all that you choose to
No.
be here with us. We really do appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
All right, guys. Good night.
Thank you all.
We remember you. We remember you. Ooh. We're still here for you. We'll shine a light for you.